Is looking for people around the country.
Oh.
You do not have to move.
We should be good to go. I think the formatting's all good, but someone just double check.
Okay, did Keenan send you a picture of Ron?
Yeah, it was a really good picture of him.
Stud. Look at him. Stud.
The most incredible thing happened, though, on that trip is that baby cried twice in 21 hours of driving. 20 hours of driving.
That's
twice.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're lucky with an extremely simple baby. Like he only screamed twice when he was hungry and they weren't ready for him because he just woke up.
Nick never got back to me because I sent him a question on Snapchat.
Then why?
What was that? Like he put out a story of him like taking a picture of a camera that I don't know. It was like a weird camera in his truck of the baby.
They have a baby cam.
Yeah, it's probably a baby.
Yeah.
Is it in part of the truck or no?
No, they it's literally a thing that just goes over the back headrest and then it just literally sits there.
Okay. The way you took it had me mind fucked. I don't know why, but it did.
It was really weird because like
oh my god, I got pizza sauce on my cheek.
Like I was looking at him like when we were driving when everyone was asleep to like make sure he was all good. And he would just sit back there and he was just like this. Sleeping.
he was ready to fuck somebody up.
Yeah, he sleeps with his arms up. It's really funny. We're live, by the way, guys. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the one that they asked us last
week. That's
hilarious.
Someone double check and make sure that the format is good because I can't.
Yeah, I did. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I didn't hear you say anything.
It looks good.
All right, cool. I made sure before.
I'm trying to share this shit out.
I worked on it before. I mean, not worked on it, but I made sure before when I was fucking around.
I'll run a tally of my running bets for this year as well.
All right, so we're just giving the mile high question because last week's question also doesn't really work. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. We'll just hop right into Big Ben and all that. All right. We good to go?
I'm tweeting and this shit out.
Alrighty.
My neck hurts right now.
Why's that, buddy?
Ty. Why? Well, just because we just sat in a car for 20 hours and then we had to drive.
Makes sense.
Well, yesterday then we had to work, and then last night at 8 o'clock at night because I flew out of Buffalo.
Yes.
Because
you guys had to go get the truck and everything.
Yeah. So that was a 4-hour drive last night too to drive to Buffalo and then to Erie. So.
Roger.
Yep, and then work today. So it's been a absolute grind the last 3 days. Oh.
Alright.
Oh. I did pop a couple ibuprofen though, so hopefully that helps.
You need the little neck roller. One of those little
dude.
Things that you just
I actually have this. This is one of the greatest gifts that my girlfriend could have ever gotten me in my entire life. Hold on. It's a back massager / neck massager, and all you gotta do is just plug it in. And it has,
those things fuck.
This thing is amazing. I actually was a little worried when I bought it out of the box that it was going to be like, oh, please don't be like chintzy as fuck. But then it ended up being literally the nicest thing I own now.
Speaking of Evan, you know that like mini cooler thing you got my dad?
Yeah.
Well, my sister Keena and Nick stole it for one because it's the greatest like travel bottle warmer ever. They fucking love it. They use it the entire trip. Yeah. Yeah,
they put all Kino's milk in it, and then fucking all you gotta do is just warm it up in their little warm up thing whenever they need it.
I'll have to buy Kurt another one.
Alright, I'm ready. I tweeted all this stuff out, so we're good.
Oh yes, Daddy.
Gang. All right, cool. All right, let's hop into this then. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to episode 44.
What?
I don't know if a things are gonna
48.
change on the podcast, but
48.
It's gonna
not
be
44.
better. What?
48, not 44.
I said 48, didn't I?
Nah,
you
you
said
definitely said 44. But
Weird.
that's okay though.
We'll check the tape.
Clip it.
Run it back.
Check the tape.
Clip it.
But yeah, no, this is episode 48. We only missed a total of 5 episodes last year, which, I mean, whatever. People can hate us for that. But yeah, start of the new year, new betting slate. Shout out to Cade by winning by 1.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
we take every win is like a small battle in the war, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I just have to say that I just came out on top. It is what it is.
I mean, you did. You're right.
I mean, did I absolutely start to purposely fade and bet with Cal to just have to go 1-0 other than him every week to try to win? Absolutely, but that wasn't against the rules. Win's a win.
That's fair. But yeah, with that being said, how was everyone's New Year's? I mean, it's been, 2 weeks?
Christmas. It's
Going on
Christmas
3
too.
weeks since we last recorded, so...
Yeah, the whole holiday season. We pretty
Everything
much
was good, man.
It was the
Yeah.
worst couple
Went
weeks of
by
my life.
really fast.
It was the worst couple weeks of my life.
Well,
By-
yeah, I mean, you did
by
get
far.
basically Lyme's disease, so
Yeah.
there's that.
I'll say it as quick as possible for our freaking viewers. I almost died, not literally, but felt like. Legitimately, the week of Christmas, started getting chills and cold sweats, and my body couldn't move for like 4 or 5 days. I couldn't get out of bed physically. And then went to the doctors, found out I had a tick-borne illness called asnosplasmosis, and I got medicine, and it still took me 3 days after that to feel better. So I rocked a 103-degree fever for like literally a calendar week, which was intense. But we're on the up and up.
Doesn't seem fun though. That's
No,
for sure.
dude, it was awful. It was.
No, it sounded genuinely horrible.
When
I
I
think
like not being dramatic at all. Like I really mean this. Like not being dramatic at all. It was by far the worst thing I've experienced in my life. Like nothing has ever compared to that. And I had COVID. And I had the swine flu. Like I've had some pretty gnarly things. And nothing even will ever compare to that. Like, I cried. I legitimately cried on Christmas because my whole family, everyone left me. Like, I was by myself, and I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, it was awful. So, I
It
cried.
was like Home Alone, only
I
you were
think,
potentially
Cade, that
dying.
you deserve.
Yeah, it was the worst
think,
Christmas
Cade,
of my life.
Just hey, you didn't have any holidays. I mean, you had days off, I'm sure, but didn't feel like it. Just take another vacation, you know.
I did take 2 days of vacation last week to
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I did try to work
I did
Monday
too,
morning,
but
though.
I did not have a tick-borne illness.
The funniest thing I can tell you guys from it though, because honestly, like you guys we all like know that like we don't give a fuck, and we're just here for a good laugh. And my realization of like, wow, Kate, you're really messed up. Like you should probably go to the doctor. Was Monday morning. I woke up with a 103-degree temperature, but I thought, you know what? Let's clock in for work. Maybe we'll be able to grind through it. And
There's not a shot.
I literally passed out an hour and a half into work on my mom's kitchen table. I woke up because I had my hand on my head, fell asleep, and then when I woke up, I hit my head off the table. Yeah,
What
but
a feeling.
no, listen. The one thing is he only clocked in for work because he didn't have vacation days yet. He's still within his 90 days.
that's true. I was
of his
within
job.
my 90 days, but
So-
they ended up giving me my vacation anyway. So it didn't
Yeah,
matter.
so-
Totally understandable, but yeah, no, I mean I think there's a global pandemic that's still occurring that kind of gets you out of that, even if it's not that.
Agreed. So
Work from home though, they're not as lenient.
it's different.
Totally
that stuff.
understandable. Totally understandable.
But this is where it got dark. So I let the dogs out at 9, and I fed them at 9, but we put them in separate rooms, so like obviously they like eat and everything's fine. There's 400 pounds of dogs in my parents' house that day, between 5 dogs, 400 pounds. I didn't realize that there were dogs, not dogs, running around my mom's house, and they were locked in those rooms for 6 hours until I got back from the hospital. And then when I got back from the hospital, I kind of had like my wits about me, and no dogs were standing in my parents' dog pen. And I'm like, where the hell are the dogs? I walked in and they're all just banging doors. So,
Yeah.
just to go to show you like how out of it was, that there was literally It's. I mean, you guys have all been to my house when all those dogs are there. Like, it's a madhouse,
It's
and I
crazy.
didn't even know it. Did not even recognize that something like that was happening. So
Damn near brain damage. I mean, really, if you have I don't know what, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but
no,
if
you
have a
can
fever,
get
that-
brain damage if you go
gonna-
too long with a fever. Yes.
If it's sustained at 103 or higher, yeah.
Yeah, for like a long time. Yeah. I mean, they did tell me that I
you're
can
on your last
die.
couple
I
cells
could.
anyways.
They did tell me I could die from what was happening to me if I didn't seek treatment like over time. Like, it's not gonna kill me, I wasn't like life threatening at any point. But like, if you were just like to say fuck it, I'm not getting any treatment, like, you would die because your liver would shut down. That's the first thing. That's the first thing it goes. So you'll just die of liver failure and not even know it. So it was. I mean, it was intense. I mean, it definitely was. And I'm not being dramatic at all. It was definitely a wild event. But hey, I went to Florida. That's the thing that's a little crazy. I don't know how I swung that one, but that was just my family's doing. Played golf literally the next day after having a 103-degree temperature.
I mean, you always grinding, dude.
Never stop. I said to Cal and Dad, I was like, you guys know I really love to play golf when I'm literally out here on my
What course
deathbed.
did you play that day?
White Heron.
White Herring.
Alright.
I've never heard that one.
White
Hey,
Herring Golf Club.
Top 3 worst greens I've played in my life.
That's okay.
Top 3.
But yeah, there's our medical segment. So shout out us for being topical, even though it's not that one.
It's the second year in a row, though, someone on this podcast got messed up medically, though. Cal and Evan had COVID last year, pretty rough. I mean, I had it for a hot minute, but like then this year. It's back-to-back years.
I honestly don't know if I've had it or not.
Yep. Shout out Billy, who's had it more times than anybody in the United States.
Yeah, Billy's immune system's undefeated though.
It is.
Shout out Walt.
He's like the lizard off of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man now. He just keeps mutating. How good was that movie, by the way, Ty?
Is that a spoiler?
No spoilers, but yeah, no. 3 is
Listen, it's
phenomenal.
almost been out for a month, guys. If you haven't seen it, then this
No
is
Way
your
Home
fault
is a
more than it
really,
is anyone
really
else.
good
Get
movie. You
cultured.
should definitely check it.
Spoiler.
Get culture.
Evan goes spoiler. Evan, you
And
ever
the
seen it on
lizards.
TikTok or anything at all? Nothing's been spoiled for you?
Mm-mm.
Are you serious?
How about you get
That's
with it and
impressive.
get culture?
That's
I
pretty
put my
impressive.
blinders on.
Ty, what would you rate it
He-
like
his
out of all the
TikTok is just
movies
a
you've
bunch
seen
of
through
girls
Marvel?
dancing.
Like, would you rank it like up there in that top 3 conversation?
Out of all the Marvel movies,
Don't count the Avengers movies because they're in a different category. If you're
Oh,
talking,
if we're like talking Guardians, like Captain America,
you're talking the
like-
individual solo movies.
Yeah, I'd probably put it top 3.
Yeah, I would. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's definitely top 3.
Guardians 1 is still probably my favorite independent Avengers movie.
I think Captain America's my number 1. Captain America 1 is my favorite.
Then Thor Ragnarok's probably 2, and I'd probably put Spider-Man 3 or switch those two.
Yeah, Ragnarok's funny.
Ragnarok is such a good movie.
It's funny as hell too.
Another movie that people don't really rank high, and I don't know why. But
I haven't seen
is,
Shang-Chi either, so.
Is Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor
Oh, I
Strange.
love
Doctor
no,
Strange.
it's a top 5
That
for
movie,
me. I
that
love
movie
Strange,
is
dude.
so good.
I can't wait for the next one, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
good. Looks good.
I
I
need
gotta
to watch
watch.
Loki though because that has to do with the multiverse. So it's
I-
just
I need to watch Hawkeye.
yeah, I'll get around to it.
I need to watch Hawkeye.
Yeah. Anything else, anybody? I mean, I didn't really do much. I just kind of hung out with a lady, so
No.
that was literally my.
Played 4 rounds of golf in 7 days last week, which was fun. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, not a whole lot. Almost got to go to I can't remember what bowl game it was, but
It was
a bowl game
Clemson's.
down in
It was
Florida.
Clemson's.
It was Clemson versus Iowa State, but I can't remember what the actual game was. But we were too late on the tickets, but we almost went to it, which would have been fun. But yeah, nothing crazy on. I mean, other than just like on vacation and
Holiday
working,
stuff, yeah.
you know. But
Yeah, driving back wasn't too bad.
we got lucky because we left at the right time. Because I don't know if you guys saw the whole Virginia and
Yeah. Billy
DC
got
and
kicked
stuff
to
like
work
that.
that day.
Well, no, but like people have been stranded on the highway
On 95.
95.
95
Yeah.
has been shut down for like
For 2 days.
2 days. and people were
19
stuck in
hours.
their
Yeah,
cars.
last time I saw.
So we.
Oh yeah, my
exist
state
to
was
have
on
that
fire,
storm.
and we had hurricane level winds here.
And then
Yeah.
you had
That was
snow.
crazy. And
Yeah,
then you
no,
get
no,
snow
no.
the next
So
day.
Then you had snow.
So I was 6 miles away from the evacuation area. That's a real thing. The winds were anywhere from 80 to 115 miles an hour where I live. And what was the other thing? We got a foot of snow the day later, and it was
Yeah,
negative 7.
Colorado is by far the most bipolar state for weather.
That's a movie.
That is.
Yeah,
That's
no.
like the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we have
Great
Yellowstone
movie,
that
by
can
the way.
blow at any
That's an
time.
all-timer. That's an all-timer for
Spoiler.
me, by the way.
It is a good
all-timer.
one.
Evan, you ever seen the
what
day
was
after
that?
If
tomorrow?
you've never seen The Day After Tomorrow, it's literally been out for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, dude.
I
It's
think,
like
I think
Spoiler.
it has been out for 20 years.
yeah, that movie. I watched that movie
Talk
when I was
about
like
Jake
12.
Gyllenhaal at his finest.
I don't know about it as finest because
That was him.
Are we gonna ignore Brokeback Mountain? That's his best performance.
It's around
Brokeback
the same
Mountain's
time.
good. He's
Right around that same
he's
time.
Nightcrawler's a top tier one. Him as Mysterio is phenomenal. I mean,
Rey Mysterio?
no.
Uka Makiyaka. 619.
Alright. Cal, what do you got? We haven't had one of these in a while. It's I hope we're starting off the new year with a bang here.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of, because of work and stuff, I kind of forgot, about my question, but I have one. I had to
What a
come up with
freaking
quickly.
letdown to start the
So
year.
this is might not be a great one, but I mean, it's something to think
You
about.
started the year one step back. That's terrible.
Set the bar low. That's all for the
If
people.
you
that's all.
exactly, if you could, no, I'm not saying could. If you have to sell one body part of yours on the black market, what body part would it be?
Whatever
Not
body
organ.
part, whatever organ that keeps me living that could go
No,
with a
not
nice
organ.
price.
Not an organ.
It's a
Not
body
organ.
Whatever
part.
Oh,
body
like an
part.
actual.
Yeah, like a body part of yours.
I'd give up an ear.
I was gonna say, I mean, I can still hear, right?
No, you give up. You still have your other one. You just only have to give up one.
If I have to sell one, it's so tough. I have to weigh my options. I have to see what the prices are.
Listen.
No, let's just
I'm-
say all the
I'm
prices are
gonna
the
keep
exact
it-
same.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have just a magnificent calf that I feel like I could get good money for. I think my calf,
I
from
mean,
my
I do know a
knee
person
down,
that doesn't have a calf because it was blown off when he got electrocuted.
my knee down.
Tough.
I think I could get good money for.
Tough.
Knee down, because
So you're rocking the prosthetic for the rest of your life, Kyle.
dude, for the right price, bro.
Nah, you can still have your bone. You just get rid of the muscle.
Yeah.
I would cut off a
You can't-
foot for the right
Yes,
price.
you can. Did you not hear what I just said?
No.
I know a guy that got electrocuted, like by a lightning bolt, and like his leg, because it was grounded, blew up, and he still has his bone, can walk and everything. He just has zero calf muscle.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Like he doesn't walk with a limp or anything.
I also feel
Oh,
like I got a solid knee. Like I got a.
I was gonna say
good,
kneecap.
Like solid knee. I don't know.
I mean, realistically, I don't need a bicep.
You could throw away one of your fingers too, honestly.
Like
but
my
yeah,
left
but-
bicep isn't really doing anything for me, so probably get rid of that. It's the right one that has all of the hard work.
Yeah, 100%. No,
I mean, well, yeah, no. My
Sell
grandfather
something
for the
for the right
last
price.
like 7 years of his life, literally his bicep like disconnected from his elbow, so it was up here the whole time. Like he had no function over it. So
I would
bicep,
sell.
we'll go with that.
I would sell my foot because you can get prosthetic feet easy.
It'd be weird not touching the ground though, man.
I understand that, but I could do everything I like to do with a prosthetic.
Oh, wisdom
foot.
teeth. I'll do my wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't have them, so.
I still have one. I only had one, and I still have it. Never had to get it removed.
If it's a single body part, yeah, just take a tooth out of my head. But
I don't think teeth count. I think it's gotta be like a body part, as in like exterior.
just give me a lobotomy. Take my brain. Fuck it.
I mean, the right answer is testicle, because they're probably, you got two of them for one.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
say when you said body part, I was like, oh, I only need one kidney, so just take one of my kidneys.
Yeah, the thing that I saw.
That's an
said-
organ though. Like
they
that's not a
said no
body part to me.
organs. Yeah, they said
I mean,
no organs.
Yeah.
Because organs, like that's what it is. Like if you know the story.
Someone want to take these sons of bitches or no?
Yeah.
Like-
you
Like
can't
your
take
leg,
away-
like your leg's not an
honestly,
organ.
Kai, if you were mangled in a severe accident, that's how you're going to get.
No, if I'm ever
Identify.
missing,
Yeah.
this is one of my identifiers.
Yeah, 100%.
He has the 3 biggest moles I've ever seen in my life.
Bermuda Triangle, bro.
And it's like a perfect like isosceles triangle.
No, it's like an acute triangle. It's literally perfect. That's
Yeah,
great.
It's insane.
But all right, boys, we good?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna turn this over to the two Steelers fans. Hence why I have this back here. Big Ben potentially just played his last game ever at Heinz. We don't know; it's not confirmed, but all ideas lead to this being his last game at Heinz. You guys want to take a second and say anything, or we want to talk about the game?
First off, there's a very good chance that even if he does play next year, that it's going to be his last game at Heinz because Heinz Field might not be Heinz Field next year.
Correct. The naming rights are up. Yeah.
So, if he goes out and Heinz Field goes out at the same time, it kind of be fitting. But overall, for the most part, I mean, I think, yeah, he didn't play his best. He broke an NFL record last night with the most attempts with the least amount of yards.
Oh my god! I hate how you said that he broke a record, and then that's the record he just gave.
Well,
No, Evan and I were talking at one point, and he had like 40 attempts for like 96
him
yards.
and Baker Mayfield also broke a combined record with the most combined attempts in the least amount of yards.
By the way, just a comment on Baker. Baker was the only player in the NFL this year to have 10 straight incompletions. That sucks.
No. Ever, Cade.
Ever. Oh, I thought that was just this year.
Ever. We're on Ben. We'll get to that, though.
I didn't know that. I was just commenting on it because I saw it on Twitter this morning. Go ahead.
But it was 18 years of not having to worry about a quarterback, to watching a legend play. It's going to be completely. I don't know how it's going to be next year. I've never, at my adult life, I've never had to worry, other than injury wise, of who's going to be under center the following year, or the uncertainty. So definitely going to be different.
Yep.
Shout out to Big Ben. He was the first jersey I ever had. Probably couldn't even go over my one shoulder blade now, if I still had it. Yeah, he's an all timer.
Yeah, it hasn't even really sunk in for me yet, and probably until next season when I see somebody different under center.
100%.
Permanently. When we had Duck Hodges or Mason Rudolph or, looking back, Charlie Batch. We all knew that Ben was going to be back, right? But this time he's not. And, it's just going to be, it'll be tough next year. Obviously, if somebody comes in and is super good, that's going to kind of put a quick Band-Aid on that feeling. But, if we have some struggles a couple years, like, teams do, it's going to be tough. And, but it's for the better. I'm pretty sure I'm documented saying that I wanted Ben to retire last year. So it was good. We kind of gave him his little farewell tour, and he got a win versus the Browns in his last game ever, at Heinz. So.
Tina Noah Hines against the Browns.
His record against the Browns is of like 26-2-1.
26-2-1.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
And they want to call it a rivalry.
So I think I saw
26-3-1.
I was going to
Because
say, I saw something
they
different
played an
yesterday.
even amount of times.
Yeah. But, yeah, regardless, he only lost to the Browns 3 times and tied them once. And,
Never lost at home. I
was going to say he never lost.
regular
We
regular season.
We literally own the Browns when Ben's under center. So,
I
call it a rivalry if you want.
even though
Not.
he didn't play his best last night, I don't think I've ever seen a Pittsburgh Steelers team play the way they played for someone ever. They played. Every single person stepped up to max last night. To their defense, to Claypool still had his issues. He's Claypool, but the offensive line, Najee Harris, the offensive line, he barely got touched. If they play with that energy every single game, we're a Super Bowl team, But it's I'm glad he got to go out with a win. And the way he did it. He went and literally high-fived every fan that he could around that stadium. His family was there. It was that I almost feel like the NFL scripted when Najee Harris busted that touchdown, and then he wasn't going to get his victory formation, and then Baker threw that interception, so he got a final 10 seconds to be able to do his victory formation. Was pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Do you see Tomlin tried to call timeout with 2 seconds left?
Yeah, he wanted to try to give him another one, but I mean, you saw him like that play. He like stayed on the ground for like a solid like 10
Oh
seconds.
yeah, Derek Watt was trying to lift him up, and like Ben was just like, no.
Yeah. It's definitely a surreal feeling. We'll see. It definitely would have been better if our last game would have been the home game. It's like, yeah, cool.
No, Pittsburgh would have fallen into the fucking river, dude.
We still got next week against the Ravens with a long shot to get in the playoffs, but I don't want us to make. I told Cade last night. I'm like, I don't want us to make the playoffs. I don't want.
I do just to say I'm right.
Well, yeah, but I don't want him. I don't want him to chance him to have like a game like he did against the Cleveland last year in the playoffs. Like I wanted just to sign it out. We're starting fresh next year. To see who we have at quarterback and go.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for the Jaguars to beat the Colts. So,
dude, they've won 6 times in a row.
I hope we get the dub versus the Ravens next week. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's playing or not, but
that's up in the air still.
And if we make the playoffs, that's great. But I think
the only thing is, you guys would be playing either the Chiefs or potentially the Bengals, depending on like how it works out. But like the Bengals can still get the first seed, so can the Chiefs. So it just all depends on how they fall. But yeah, if you guys got in, it'd be the Chiefs, Bengals, or Titans.
Yeah.
Which.
I mean, we already beat the Titans.
I don't mind playing the Bengals or the Titans. Yeah,
the Bengals, the Bengals and Kansas City both blew Pittsburgh out last time they played.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus,
if the Steelers play against,
so again, the Titans are the first seed right now, and they've done this without Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is starting to practice again this week.
Yep. If the Steelers play against an offense in the first round that they're gonna score like close to 30 points, Pittsburgh will get blown out because Pittsburgh cannot score 30 points.
See, the thing is, what I thought the biggest like tragedy for Cleveland last night, and I honestly, I think that the loss has to go all on Kevin Stefanski or whoever calls the offensive plays.
It's Stefanski.
Yeah, Stefanski.
How do you only run the ball with your best player 12 times versus the worst rushing defender or defending team in the league?
The Steelers can't stop the run. They're just really good at getting to the quarterback.
Right. I will never understand that, why they didn't run the ball at least 20 times with Nick Chubb, and that's why they lost the game.
Well, and it's not just that. Like, Dearness Johnson isn't a bad runner either, but it doesn't matter when you have Baker running out doing bootlegs to the left where he has to throw against his body, and his arm is broken on the left side.
It
doesn't make sense.
Why are you throwing the ball?
It's not like they were playing behind multiple scores the entire game, too.
No, they could run
the one-score game for majority of the game.
Last drive.
Yeah.
They could have run the ball from the jump, and they didn't, and that's why they lost the game.
I genuinely don't understand what the game plan was for last night, and it's nothing against the Steelers. It's just if you're the Browns, that's not your game plan against any team.
No.
So I don't understand what it was. Baker has already been told like, you're sitting the fuck down. You're getting surgery in case Keenum's playing this like week 18 against the Bengals.
Yeah.
But again, the Bengals don't have a ton to play for. Like, they technically can start the starters.
Baker's not playing.
Baker's getting surgery like this week.
So I think it's a very highly chance of the last time we see Baker in a Browns uniform playing.
There's a good chance.
I don't think so, but again, I can't argue.
There's a good chance.
This was a horrible season.
I would say it's 50-50. I would not say that Baker Mayfield has more than a 50% chance of being a Cleveland Brown next year.
I agree with that. I think it's 50-50.
Like just 50-50.
What's the cap situation there? Does anyone know?
They're fine.
It can't be.
Can they sign any like veteran quarterback like a Russ or?
Yes. They can fuck around and do that, yeah.
But I don't think they have. The problem is, I don't think they have a ton of money to be able to sign back Denzel Ward and like Nick Chubb as a contract, like all those kind of things. I don't know if they have that much money.
Chubb is going to get franchise tagged. I will almost guarantee that.
Yeah.
Just like I almost expect Baker to.
To me, it's just talking about Cleveland just because we're on the kind of the subject. Obviously, they're the most disappointing team in the NFL this year. I don't think anyone would argue that.
I'd put the Vikings up there, dude. The Vikings are insanely
That's
talented.
fine. You could put the Vikings in there too, but the Browns were predicted to win the AFC North, and they're finishing last.
They were predicted like 12 wins.
Yeah, they were predicted. They're like over under for wins was like 11, and they're not even gonna get 9. So what I'm saying is like
they're 7-9 right now.
Right. So what I'm saying is like they're definitely in my opinion the biggest disappointment because I don't think anyone thought the Vikings were like NFC contenders by any means. I think a lot of people going into the season, Ty, NFC contenders. You're talking they were an NFC contender.
No.
Wait,
I don't think
Jefferson, Thielen, Cooks, and Cousins.
No, but you're okay. But you're gonna. I'm talking about against their competition. Do you think that the Vikings were in the conversation?
They weren't going to win the division.
They were not going to.
They're an argument to beat the Packers every year. I mean,
I think
Ty,
that's your Twitter feed of Viking fans, though, bro. Like that's not. Because like the NFL,
I don't have a Twitter feed of Vikings fans.
I was gonna say,
but I'm saying
anybody from Minnesota.
The NFL, like if we were to go back and look at projected wins, like the Browns are one of the biggest sellers. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
To have more wins than the Vikings, yeah.
They literally
no. I'm talking about like everyone said this year that the Browns going into the season were probably a top 3 to top 4 AFC contender.
A lot of people had them in the top 5 of the AFC. Yes.
The Vikings were not in that conversation. Is what I'm saying.
They had the Bills,
probably
Chiefs,
not,
and Browns. That was definitely the hierarchy going into the
right.
Chiefs, Browns.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like 2 out of the last 3 years, the Browns have had serious hype. I know they were riddled with injuries, but every year teams are riddled with injuries, and teams still find ways and stuff like that. But like it's just crazy that like the Browns they had it. They literally had a defense who was supposed to be elite, and they were not elite this year. And then they have arguably one of the best offensive line in football going into the season. Right? They had a top 5 or 6 running back in the league. They had a pretty decent receiving core, and I would say Baker's a better half quarterback in the NFL. And like it's like bro, like oh my god, like they can't this doesn't fall together for the Browns ever. Like it did last year. They did last year, and they made it to the second round, and it was great. But like it just doesn't like sometimes you get lucky, right? Like you just get lucky. Like, I think the Eagles have gotten lucky a couple times. Like, I would say, I bet Ty could sit here and say that the Packers have gotten lucky a couple times with a couple wins this year. Or just in general.
Us and the Bengals missed 9 consecutive kicks, and they won with, like, a minute left.
Dude, freaking AJ Green doesn't turn around on a fade. Like, just stuff like that. Like,
yeah, no, I'm not arguing that.
But that just doesn't happen for Cleveland. Like, it's crazy. Like you watch
doesn't happen for
games.
The Lions either.
Yeah, like I watched because they're on TV. I mean, obviously they're on TV every week.
Well, you live on Lake Erie, and
right?
Cleveland is on
but
Erie. So.
I watched probably realistically 12 Browns games this year, and I swear to God, nothing goes their way. Like they were hurt. Like yeah, every team gets hurt, but like it's just like bro, like it's like Evan. It's like it's either they shoot themselves in the foot by not playing to their strengths, like you're saying. Or they just they got blown out by teams this year too. Like it's just crazy. Such a weird season for them.
No, but the thing is, again, like it would not surprise me if next year, and this is barring who the quarterback is, if the Browns are a 10 or 11 win team next year, because that's how the NFL works. They could be a 10 or 11
win team with Baker next year.
Like that's just how the NFL works. Like one year you have 4 wins, the next year you have 12.
Yep. The Eagles spent $94 million in dead cap money, and they went up 5 wins from last year. The season's over.
I mean that's just it. Like the Packers are the first team in NFL history to win 13 games at least in a season for 3 consecutive years ever.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
No. Oh, that's what I was going to say about Big Ben.
Shout out to Mike Tomlin. He had 15 straight years, and Ben had 18 straight years of a winning record. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
That doesn't happen.
I was going to say this about Big Ben, and I kind of forgot because we talked about other stuff. I will say that the most impressive thing I've ever heard is the never having a losing season by Big Ben. And the reason why I would say this is the most impressive thing I've ever heard is because even guys like Aaron Rodgers have gone below 500. Peyton Manning has gone below 500. You know, Drew Brees has had many losing seasons. Like, Dan Marino lost a lot of seasons. Like, you're talking like some of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history had losing seasons, and Ben Roethlisberger is the only guy who didn't. That's crazy.
I'm trying to think. Rodgers' full season when he wasn't injured, which
Well, the
technically
thing
does
is, though, is
count.
like they counted.
They counted that because he's 18.
Yeah.
Because Big Ben was out a whole entire year.
Yeah, they counted
No,
that.
that's what I'm saying is like, and that's a credit to Tomlin's 15-year run as well.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like Rodgers and McCarthy had one losing season, and that was his first year under center. I think they were either 7-9 or 8-8. And then, other than that, the only 2 losing seasons they've had in Rodgers' tenure was when he broke his collarbone.
Yep. Yep.
And no, again, shout out to the Steelers for never allowing that to happen.
Yep.
Again, like last year, it was a
crazy.
funny haha thing that you guys went 8-8, and I mean, it's impressive regardless. Like everyone that comes after Tomlin, like I get it, I do, but at the same time, like you don't understand what you have until it's gone.
I said to Kate, I'm like, it's
No, the Steelers are the most spoiled fans.
The common thing
like,
is that
ever.
he definitely didn't he underperformed a couple years when we should have had done better.
No, when you guys had the most explosive offense in the league,
but at that time we had one of the worst defenses in the league.
Correct.
So there was only a couple times where like the chips hit like, and that was early on in his career where it was like, yes, you should be there.
That's why the Patriots are bullshit.
Yeah. But that's what makes it so impressive is even when the chips are down, he finds a way to coach the team up to make sure that they don't have a losing season. Like
you're at least relevant. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You're at least relevant every year, dude.
Yep.
Like, look at Giants fans, Jets fans, Jaguar fans, Lions fans. They will take any ounce of relevance over the absolute shit show that their franchises have been for the last decade at this point.
Yep.
Like, you cannot tell me the Giants. Yeah, it's been 10 years since Eli. Everyone, shut the fuck up. Those teams, like, they will snip. Like, people are like, "Oh, the Packers get to the NFC Championship game and lose." Like, okay, that's great. That's not a dig on me. Like, I get to literally watch meaningful football deep into January every year.
Yeah.
And does it suck? Yeah, I punched a hole in my wall last year. It sucks. But that football is meaningful instead of being done by middle of December and having to just be excited about the draft in 8 months.
Yeah, that's how I felt last year with the Eagles.
What?
The Eagles have had 3 losing seasons in the last 12 years, and that's good football. Like that's
That
good.
is- that is
That's
great.
good football. Like no one,
Even
if you told that to any franchise, they'd be like, "Wow, that's pretty good football." But last year, it was literally like Thanksgiving, and I was like, "Well, I'm so ready for this to be done."
Even the year that Big Ben, a couple years back when he only played 4 games, we played 12 games with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges as our quarterbacks. We were 1 game away from the playoffs. We were actually 1 play. We were 1 play. Juju fumbled the football on the game-winning drive against the Ravens for us making the playoffs. We were 1 play away from making the playoffs.
But that's my thing. Like, relevance is always. I don't give a shit. Like, I understand draft picks and everything. And again, I am still on the boat of go full tank to get your draft pick and then rebuild
or be really good.
Reload.
Go all in or die.
But yeah, mediocrity is one thing, but being relevant is something that you cannot beat in sports. It's just not. Like, you
especially
can't.
the NFL. Especially the NFL.
You'd much rather be relevant.
NBA, you can snap your fingers and go from a really good team to a really bad team, or vice versa. So quickly because it takes less players to impact the game. Look at the Bulls. The Bulls went from barely sniffing the playoffs to being the number 1 seed. Just stuff like that.
Off of 2 signings.
Yeah.
Well, 3. I'll give Caruso a sign. I'll give Caruso a notable signing.
Yeah.
Football is so much harder than that because there's a 50.
No, and again, like the Packers right now. The Packers are in cap hell, and they're going to be, even if they franchise tag Devontae Adams. Like, Rodgers is still under contract at the end of this year. Like, they will have to trade him if he does want out. But the thing is, like, all of our players we've drafted. David Bakhtiari, the 2nd highest paid left tackle, drafted him. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Jair Alexander's probably going to get franchise tagged. Devontae Adams, Rodgers. Like, drafting and staying relevant, that's all you shoot for.
Yeah, I would say there's a big difference between average and relevant. Like, I would say, a team I would say the Steelers.
The Titans prior to Mike Vrabel were always average. They were never great. They never made
the Vikings
runs.
are average. The Vikings are an average football team right now.
Yeah, they are.
That's the worst place you could be.
No, it is because like
Yeah.
you're it's that maybe
Yeah,
It's
sick,
just-
dude. We're playing for the playoffs in week 15 and 16, but when 17 and 18 roll around, we're not anywhere.
you're out.
Right. So yeah,
Oh,
I
also,
completely agree with that. It's like it's if you're a team like I'm gonna say what I think the Chargers are gonna be over the next 10 years. I think the Chargers are gonna be a team that is relevant every year as long as Herbert's there. And I think
It's the
Staley's
same
a
with the
good coach.
Bengals now. Like the Bengals usually are
Yeah,
mediocre. I think the Bengals, by default, now have to be relevant because it appears Joe Burrow is that fucking dude.
Yeah, he's really good. But like I would say like guys like that like they are relevant. Like a team like the Vikings are not relevant. Like the Eagles
they would
are
be
relevant.
average,
The
you're
Eagles
right.
have made the playoffs now 16 times in the last 21 years. That's relevant.
No,
Like-
that is relevance. You're playing meaningful football every January.
You know what's kind of crazy though? This is why Philly sucks. We've missed the playoffs 5 times in the last 21 years.
yeah,
out of
haven't you
those
had, like,
5
five
times-
coaches.
Out of those 5 times, we fired a coach 3 times.
Like it's fucking absurd.
Can you imagine that? Like, isn't that kind of crazy?
That's
Like
fucking
like
absurd.
Andy Reid went 4-12, missed the playoffs, so they fired him. Hired Chip Kelly, didn't make the playoffs the next year, made the playoffs the following 2 years, and then fired him after he made the playoffs. And then
To be fair, there was a lot of shit.
oh
around
yeah,
Kelly.
yeah, that was yeah. And then Doug Pederson comes in, misses the playoffs once, and
Wins
then
the Super Bowl.
wins the Super Bowl the next year, makes the playoffs 2 years after that, misses the playoffs 1 time, fired.
Makes no sense.
Kind of
dude. I just wanna make
crazy
sure
when
that
you
you're
really
aware of that.
when you really think about it. That's absolutely one of the most unstable
Like-
things you've ever heard
Like
in your life.
genuinely, do Philly fans think that like it's gonna be like a Matt LaFleur situation where you get 40 wins in your first 3 years? Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Nick Sirianni should be Nick Sirianni should be in second place for Coach of the Year.
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But again, hey, I did see this stat and I thought this was remarkable. The 2 years leading up to Matt LaFleur getting hired, Aaron Rodgers under center was 23-24-1. Aaron Rodgers prior to LaFleur.
Hated McCarthy.
It was that was a very toxic time in Green Bay.
It was awful.
Yeah, but
We lost to the fucking Cardinals that were 2-12 in Lambeau in December.
I'm telling you guys right now, and I really mean this, that Nick Sirianni take second place in Coach of the Year.
Dog, it's really like LaFleur. Look, I understand people not wanting to give it to LaFleur, but what Vrabel has done to get to the first seed in the AFC without Derrick Henry and Julio and AJ all missing time, my vote goes to Vrabel, but Sirianni, it should be in that conversation 100%.
I think you should finish second because there's nobody in the NFL that's probably beat their expectations of wins by more wins. Like everyone knew that Tennessee was going to have 10 plus wins this year though.
But they didn't. That's with Henry though. Dude.
I understand, but like I'm still saying like they still like met expectations. I agree though, Ty. I don't think Sirianni should win it. I'm just saying Sirianni should receive votes because they were supposed to be rebuilding and they were supposed to be like there was literally analysts in the NFL that were literally predicting them to have the least amount of wins in the NFL. Like the entire league, they were predicted to have the least amount, and they're playing for their 10th win next week.
Which, by the way, is just completely fucking asinine.
Yeah, but listen, it's because
But they also did have the easiest schedule by all metrics. So.
it's because they had $68 million in dead cap, and it's because they literally were paying.
Dude, their highest paid player is a Colt.
Yeah, like is Alshon Jeffrey on a team?
Nah.
Okay, well we're paying a retired wide receiver $14 million this year. So
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
They also
so
paid Carson
that's
Wentz
why
$34 million, so.
if literally the Philadelphia Eagles are $94 million in dead cap money. They literally started the year out with like just over $180 million in cap to pay 53 players, and they're playing for their 10th win. That
No, look,
is
I mean,
insane. And now what I will say is I think everyone needs, including myself, needs to give Howie Roseman credit for being able to field a roster like that and win games. He fielded a terrible
I'm really
situation.
excited for next year when it's off with his head again. I
Hey, but
enjoy those
listen,
times.
listen. All I know is that Justin Jefferson's never been to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's almost like Kirk Cousins. can't
DK
get in there.
Metcalf, where's he at? He's sitting at home. You know, Jalen Rager's playing football on Sundays in January. I mean, hey.
Hey, Kai.
We know damn well that's a joke. We all know that is a joke.
If we had Justin Jefferson, we still have Carson Wentz. And if we had Carson Wentz, we still have Doug Peterson.
If you have DK fucking Metcalf, you have Carson Wentz.
Yeah, our whole lives are different. But that's not the point.
I still hate that the Packers didn't draft DK. DK
The
and
point-
fucking Devontae together, my god.
The point of the matter is that facts are facts, and it's that Jalen Rager is playing on Sunday in the wild card weekend, and Justin Jefferson will be watching. That's a fact. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's good.
It is
Not
true.
saying it's
Also,
right.
Cade, I will extend on, since I am part owner of the Packers, I will extend a you're welcome since we beat the Vikings' ass and got you guys into the playoffs.
No, you should have. It was negative temperatures, and
You
they
played
didn't
like an 8-string quarterback. I hope.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
he's been
why
in
did
the
not
league
play
since-
Kellen
he's been in the
Mond?
league since 2015, dude.
Why did they not play Kellen Mond?
Because Zimmer hates him, and Zimmer already came out and said, which, by the way, R.I.P. Zimmer.
Yeah. Well, he deserved fire 2 years ago. So.
Oh, also, while we were doing this, Matt Nagy also got told that he's getting the fuck out of Chicago. So Aaron Rodgers killed the North, literally.
The North is bad. I've decided that. The North is
The
bad.
North is bad. I mean,
The
the,
North
Bears
is
and
bad.
Vikings usually have good defenses, but I looked up the stats after you said that, and no, the last 2 years they've been dog shit. The
Yep.
Bears are above average in defense, but like their offense is fucking mediocre.
Yeah,
so.
the North. I'm not saying the North is the worst division because it's definitely not the worst division. But
It's a year in and year out division for sure because the Bears and Vikings usually field decent teams, but the last 2 years they've been fucking booty cheeks.
yeah, well, the Bears have been booty cheeks since they went 12-4 like once.
Since the double doink.
Yeah,
Yes.
we buried them.
No, you guys actually did kill the
Yeah,
Bears. I want
they're
you to know.
they're
out, Cody
the,
Parkey.
obviously the Lions are like a top 3 worst franchise in football, and then the Bears have been obviously the Bears have been the definition of mediocre, and so are the Vikings
They are basically the Browns, dude, with a better defense every now and then.
in a bigger market.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, like the Bears are dog shit,
Yeah.
and they have been since 2000.
Right.
Like,
So-
congratulations, you do have a Super Bowl appearance. I will give you that with Rex fucking Grossman. But like, dude, you're not good.
Okay, so let's ask you. I want to ask you guys this because I know the NFC East was definitely the laughing stock last year. Who was the worst division this year? I mean, we can start to look back on this now. I mean, it's that time. The AFC South.
AFC South.
I wanted to say the South, but I mean, the Colts and the,
Who's in the South?
Titans are the
Texans?
first and fifth seed.
Jax,
Fifth and
Jax,
sixth.
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville and
Jacksonville.
Houston.
Houston.
I mean, if you're going by like
two of the
NFL
worst
power
teams in the league
rankings,
in the division.
if you're going
Give
by
two of the
other
worst
two.
teams, Titans and
Titans and Colts are the other two.
If
which
you're
those
going
are
off
two
the
of the
power-
top teams in the AFC.
if
But
you're
they
going
have
off the
two of the
NFL power
worst
rankings
teams
from this
in the
morning,
South.
though, they have the 32nd and the 30th
They're not
worst
South.
team in the league, though.
Well, it's the same with.
I mean, dog, you could almost. This season, you could almost make an argument for the North, the NFC North.
Yeah, that's
Because,
what
like, I'm
No, this year's
genuinely
bad.
thinking about it.
This year is bad for sure.
Like,
Like I would
genuinely
say the
thinking
NFC
about it.
East, but the NFC
Look at
East
the
have two
East
teams
too.
over 500, and Washington is 6-10. Like they're not terrible, and the Giants I think are 5-9. Like they're not. I mean, not 5-9, 5-11. They're not terrible. They're not as bad as
They're
the
4-12.
Lions and oh god, poor Lions, dude. They should have won more games though.
well,
to
the
be
Lions are
honest
2-13-1. Bears are 6-10, and the Vikings are 7.
with you. Oh, the Bears are 6-10 now.
Yeah, dude.
That's a
They just
well, they
smacked
won
the,
2
they
in a row.
smacked the shit. No. They smacked the shit out of the Giants.
Yeah, they won 2 in a row.
I'm gonna take
Actually-
the NFC. I'm taking the NFC North because you guys only have one team that's above 500, and the AFC South has 2.
The NFC South is also fucking ass cheeks.
The NFC South is
This year is
actually-
really bad. This year, really bad. This year,
who is?
so bad.
The NFC South.
I know, but you know what's
4-8,
crazy is
7-9.
Atlanta still went 7-9.
Yeah.
Like that's not bad. That's not horrible.
I mean, Atlanta can get to 8 and 9.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
the
That's not
NFC North is
horrible.
definitely the worst division.
The NFC South is F.
No, the North
The
with
North.
the Packers.
I think the North is too. I think if the
Honestly,
Packers
I mean, just looking
I would
around the
agree.
league,
Like,
yeah.
listen, if the Packers don't go 13-3, say if they even go 11-5, it's not even a debate. We wouldn't even consider this. We'd be
Well,
like the
but
NFC
fact
North
that
is
they
by
locked
far the
up
worst.
The entire NFC 2 weeks in advance. I mean, that helps.
Seems like the Packers were gifted that record.
Oh, no, Evan, Evan, are we seeing like an early 2000s, like mid 2000s, like Patriots like type vibe right now? Just gifted 6 games.
But
Patriots
you
to
all know
play
we
in
lost
division.
the Lions prior to
No,
Matt.
they'll
LaFleur.
win
You
the-
guys know we lost the Lions
they'll win the
6
conference
consecutive games,
championship.
right?
You did?
Yeah, we lost prior to Matt LaFleur. The Lions beat the Packers 6 times in a row, both in Detroit and Green Bay.
Well, they cannot beat them this week. Please, no.
Yeah, Evan just put a nice little
Oh, I know.
student loan payment down
Teaser.
on the Packers.
Nice little cheeser. It'll set the tone for the year about my plus minus. We're going in dollars, keeping it. See how I do.
Hey, I'm putting you in charge of that, by the way. All right, yeah, we're already basically there. Let's talk about the playoffs.
You asked for it though. You did ask
Yeah,
for the
you're
units.
keeping track.
You,
of that
you did ask
100%.
for it. I mean,
Okay. Perfect.
All right, let's go over the playoffs really quick. The teams that are in, I'll start in the AFC, and we can just kind of talk about each team and what we think their outcome's going to be. So I'm not saying seeding yet, except the Packers. They are the 1 seed. That's not up for debate. Titans are in, Bengals are in, Chiefs are in, Patriots are in, and Bills are in. Those teams are for sure making the playoffs. Seeding is completely up in the air in the AFC. The teams that can make it: Colts, Chargers, Raiders, and Steelers, and I'll throw Ravens in there. Yeah, I mean, Titans to me
Ravens.
look like the best team, especially if they get Henry back. Like they just do, because that means that it'll run through Nashville,
Don't
and
sleep on the Colts.
I like the Titans a lot, dude.
I like the Titans because they play hard nosed football. They play January football.
Nashville's
Yeah.
also cold as shit.
Hey Cal, halfway through the season, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Your prediction looked really fucking bad, and now it looks actually pretty decent.
I knew it was gonna happen because they had the hardest fucking 7 games of any team ever.
Who's that?
The Colts.
I still
Yeah, the Colts
can't-
the Colts season. Their schedule should have been rated the hardest, in my opinion.
even though
Yes.
the Chiefs pretty much they didn't hand the win, but they gave up 2 14-point leads this weekend against the Bengals. I'm still not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I
No,
can't.
it's 1 game.
No, totally understandable. Look, I'm not saying that. I think
Weren't
the
they just on an
Titans-
8-game winning streak?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were a wagon for a hot minute.
They
Yeah,
need
and
to
then-
listen. They need to lose. That kind of refocuses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes a loss is good.
My thing with the Titans is though, again, how do you beat the Chiefs? You keep the ball out of Pat's hand.
Right.
What do the Titans do extremely well?
Yeah.
I think a lot of that depends on if we get Derrick Henry. Like if we get Derrick
The only
Henry,
reason why
I
the
agree with
Titans
you.
Scare me. The only reason why the Titans scare me is the quarterback play. That's the only reason why it scares
No,
me.
totally understandable as well. I mean,
and
that
he has
is
not
the
been
one.
good
I
this
mean,
year. Tannehill
No,
has
no,
not
but
been
that's what I'm
good.
saying. That's
No.
what I'm saying.
No.
I've seen a handful of Titans games this year, and I'm like when they put out the standings or whatever going into this weekend and after the games and stuff after the Chiefs lost, and they said Titans were the number 1 seed. I'm like, how? And then you look back, yeah, I get why, but like, I'm like, how are they there? I mean, like,
They Brian Tannehill stats this season. He's 3,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, 14 picks.
yeah,
He doubled his amount of picks from last year.
and they're they're currently the number
Go
1
into that
seed
stat
in the
again,
NFC.
Cade.
He's completing 66.9%,
That's pretty good.
3,400 yards. That's not bad. 17 touchdowns and 14 picks.
Oh,
Yeah, that's brutal.
As the
bad.
number 1 seed quarterback. As the
Yeah.
number 1 seed.
He
Again,
also
they're a
has
running
1,
team, though. I don't know
2,
if you
3,
guys saw
4,
highlights
5,
or,
6.
highlights or
Yeah.
anything from the game this weekend, but their backup, number 41, is like a mini Derrick Henry. Dude can run the
Devontae,
Yes.
isn't it Freeman?
I don't think it's
No.
Devontae Freeman.
No, it's not Devontae Freeman, but his name's Freeman.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Honestly, that dude is like a baby
Ev,
Derrick Henry.
just to add though, to Tannehill, he does
Yeah,
have
he ran
7
the
rushing
hell- he
touchdowns.
ran the
they
shit
look
that
like
does-
big backs down in Tennessee.
Yeah, just run straight forward. That's
Talk
all
about
they
it.
need to do.
Honestly, another Tennessee. Whether they're not being talked about just this season because there's nothing flashy about
They're
them. They
not
just
sexy.
win by killing.
No,
people.
they are the furthest thing from sexy, and I love that.
Sexy.
But the other
Winning
thing
games.
is their offensive line is also insanely good.
Yep. The Tennessee Titans are the Philadelphia Eagles without Derrick Henry. The Eagles play
No,
the
that's
same
exactly
exact style of
what they
football.
are. Also, their defense is playing significantly better than they did after the first 4 weeks because everyone was like, "Oh my God, Tennessee's defense is horrible." Played much better down the stretch.
Yeah,
I think Jalen Hurts is probably definitely having a better year than Tannehill is, isn't he?
I would say. I mean, he has
From a team perspective, yes.
like I mean here.
Jalen does way more than Tannehill.
By the way,
does
did you guys
for-
see? We should probably bring this up too, since we're talking about the Titans. Bud Dupree, a former ex-Steeler, just got I think a misdemeanor
DUI.
offense.
Yeah,
DUI,
fighting a
too.
person in a Walgreens.
Yeah,
I support that.
the DUI.
What?
Did you say he got a DUI?
No, the rate.
No, you're confusing him with me. I know we look similar.
Oh my god, dude!
No, a Raiders wide receiver got a
Jesus
DUI last week.
Christ!
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah, that was
Bud,
yeah.
Bud
Another
Dupree.
one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Evan, because you asked, Jalen Hurts is completing 62%, which is not great. I want that to be higher. But he has 3,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, and he's thrown 9 picks. But
How many on the feet though?
what?
How many touchdowns did he
How
run
many,
in?
how many's
Oh.
he ran in?
He has 1, 5, 8, 10. 10 rushing.
So 26 and 9.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's not counting his rushing yards. I mean, his rushing yards he has, because that matters. For
if you
someone.
guys move on from Jalen Hurts next year, I would suggest switching fan bases.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very upset. He has
No, I think that you
784
have to.
rushing yards. Ev.
Unless they get like Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Right.
Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson.
That's a. I mean, obviously that's a good replacement there.
Yeah, Evan. He has 784
Ben.
rushing yards as well.
Yeah, that's
How many?
okay. That's what I'm saying is Hurts is doing significantly more for the Eagles than Tannehill is.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah, he's got
How
10
many
rushing
rushing
yards. He has
750.
784 rushing yards. He averages 5.6 yards a carry.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean I got to watch him in person.
Yeah,
so
he-
that's pretty cool.
Listen, what I'll say, just because we're talking about him,
That's good.
what I will say about Jalen Hurts is I think Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that can win a lot of football games in the right situation like he is right now. He's behind a great offensive line.
With a running game which helps getting play
With a
action
running-
going,
yeah,
his receivers are competent.
Yes, I just the only thing I need from him is if he can develop a little bit more of a reliable passing game when he needs to use it. Because the thing is having his legs is as a weapon is such like majority of great quarterbacks, like recently, great quarterbacks don't have to necessarily be an uber great athlete like Jalen Hurts is. All they have to do is be able to pick up 5 or 6 yards on a third and long when people are in man coverage, right? Like Russell Wilson has his whole career. Rodgers has done that. Deshaun Watson, Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes.
Again,
Like-
Patrick Mahomes ran the same 40 as Peyton fucking Manning.
Right, but he's good enough
But
to
he
just pick
knows
up.
how to move around a pocket.
Right, so like you use your legs when like as a weapon, right? But like when you're someone like Jalen Hurts and Lamar, like it's like you have to do so much game planning for it. That I just want him to be able to be just a little bit better of a passing quarterback, which he will be because he's only started freaking 18 games
Yeah,
in his career.
20.
You gotta give him some
Yeah.
time. I saw TikTok.
Yeah, like
I saw
I'm not
TikTok
worried
on
about it at all. Like I think that he can be someone who can win a lot of games. Do I think he'll win a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles? Probably not, but that's okay.
Did you think Nick
Never
Foles
know.
would?
I did not. I thought Nick
true.
Foles would not, but I did think Carson Wentz would that year. Listen, I'll say there's
I mean,
only
they were
been 2
14-2
times.
until
Yes, he was 14-2.
they were
I will
11-2
tell you-
with Carson Wentz.
No, they were not 14-2. They were 13-2.
No, I thought they had 13 wins when Carson got hurt.
They were 13-2, and then they lost their last game with Nick Foles.
13-2. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will tell you there was 2 times in my lifetime that I said that my team is the best team in the league, and there's no debate. It was the 2016 UNC Tar Heels because they were by far the best team in the country, and it
Yes,
wasn't
they were.
close. They lost on a buzzer beater. It happens. Second was to the 2017-2018 Eagles.
Rich
They were
Jackson.
by far the best team in the NFL, and it wasn't close all year long. All year long.
I've said that so many times about the Packers, and I get hurt every time.
Yep, the Eagles were the best team in the NFL the entire year, and they proved it by winning with a backup quarterback.
Like, on God, the one year I didn't think we were anything. We go 10-6, are the 6th seed, play 3 games on the road in the playoffs, and win
See,
the Super Bowl.
I
I
think
hate it.
I'm about to say something. I hate first round buys. I think they suck.
That's why the Packers are playing this weekend.
Yeah, no, they need to play. Like I think Lamar Jackson did it last year. Like he sat out or whatever the year before, and then they got like played the very next week.
walloped.
Got walloped by the Tennessee Titans.
They
Like,
scored 3 points.
yeah,
But
I hate that, dude. Like I would rather. I know it's such a stupid thing to say, but I would rather see a key player go down trying to prepare for the playoffs than like get my ass smacked in the first round. Or the
I'm
second
Either way,
round.
they're
literally
both-
sending you
either
razor
way, they're
blades
both
if Adams
worthless,
or
dude.
Rodgers gets hurt.
That's a little bit different. I think those type. I think I'm talking like
No, so like
like a
the
replaceable
Packers, like,
player.
So Aaron was on Pat's show today and was talking about how they did this back in 2012 after they went 15-1, and they all rested the last game, played the Lions. That's when Matt Flynn threw for 480 yards and 6 touchdowns.
And then that made him a lot of money though. That one
That
game
made him a ton of money with the Seahawks.
made him a ton of money.
But the Packers did that. They had essentially 3 weeks of rest, and they come out and get fucking just their asses beat by the Giants. It's when the Giants went on to actually win the Super Bowl. So it was 2011, not 2012. But yeah, Aaron said that today. Like, no, we're not doing that again. I understand people are going to say shit, but like, we're playing. We're not going to do this again because
Run the score
it's
up on the
not-
Lions. Run
not
it
good
up.
for us.
That
Absolutely.
Line is, I'm all I'm saying is the line is
Yeah,
right
look-
now is criminal.
Like if I'm
Yeah,
an NFL
minus
if
2
I'm-
without Jared Goff even.
It's
if
criminal.
I'm an NFL coach, I'm flat out running it up on someone if I have to. I want momentum.
Yeah, I mean, again, I only
I
expect
want
him to
momentum.
play a half. I don't expect him to play all 4 quarters. I don't see that happening.
Run
but,
it up, Ty. Momentum.
But,
I hope they run up and won by 50.
Well, no.
Win
and,
by
okay,
100.
This is my
100,
point with that
yeah.
line, and we can talk about this line later on in betting. But my thing with the Packers is you can only suit so many people. So even if Jordan Love plays 3 of the 4 quarters, you're still going to have Alan Lazard. You're still going to have A.J. Dillon. You're still going to have DeGuara. Like, you're still going to have key pieces that are essentially essential to the Packers right now. That is still more talented than whatever the fuck the Lions can put out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the Lions are
quarterback.
sitting guys like DeAndre Swift and stuff like that too. Like I don't think they're playing.
No, the best player on the Lions is the rookie Amon St. Brown, who is a fucking stud.
Who's a
Yeah.
stud. Yeah.
He is a stud.
He's their best player for sure.
Yeah, and we have his brother Equinemius. So just know the St. Brown family.
What is his
their
name?
names are fucking wild.
What was
Amon-
that?
Amon Ra, and Equinemius.
Yeah, I'm asking. How do you say that? The Packers player?
Equinemius.
Equinemius.
Equanimous.
Equinemius.
Equanimous.
There
Yeah.
you go.
St. Brown. ESB. And then we have MVS. Marquez Valdez Scantling.
Poor kid, man.
All right.
MVS
yeah.
is an easy name. I mean, MVS is just MVS. Like,
Yeah, no, straight up.
Yeah.
Also,
Rogers does call him Marquez though on the show.
Yeah, Marquez. Yep. Marquez Valdez Scantling. It's a great name. Also, so bubble teams for the AFC: Colts, Chargers, Raiders, Steelers, Ravens. Realistically, I understand like no one sees the Jaguars beating the Colts, but like in the made-up fantasy scenario where they beat them a 7th time in a row in Jacksonville, which I mean, history says bet on Jacksonville, and the line is also 15.5 fucking points.
Yeah, 15 and a half.
I'm staying away
For
from
the Colts,
The Colts are 15.5 point favorites.
I'm gonna
against
tease
a
the
team-
shit out of that and put
against
like
a
another
team they
like
haven't
8
beaten
points.
in 6 years.
I don't know, dude. That's
I'm gonna
the
tease
Colts
the
are
shit
different.
out of
the
that. and
Colts
put-
are way different this year, and unless
6
Jonathan
years ago,
Taylor,
Andrew Luck was playing, dude.
I know, unless Jonathan Taylor gets hurt, then 6 years ago, didn't they have Blake Bortles?
Yeah, but dude,
Blake of the year.
he
We're
was
not
the
going
Blake
to
of
sit
the
here
year.
and act like Blake Bortles is being compared to Andrew fucking Luck.
He
Well,
was Blake of the year
Would
that
you,
year.
we would compare him to Trevor Lawrence, though, wouldn't we?
Actually, no, I did see a stat today. Blake Bortles and Trevor Lawrence in their first years are basically identical.
Yeah, Gardner
11
Minshew.
touchdowns, 17 interceptions, like a 66% completion percentage. It's wild.
Yeah,
Hey,
Gardner
also, your bet
Minshew's-
might be fucked.
No, I gotta throw. He's gotta throw 3 picks on Sunday, and I'll be all right.
Against the Titans.
Yep. No, against
Or
the Colts.
The
sorry.
Colts.
Yeah.
It could happen. The Colts are playing.
Listen, it could
He has
happen.
17 right
It
now, right?
100% could
10
happen.
Also, the Colts are the second leading team, I think, in turnovers.
Yes,
So,
it definitely could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't, but this is what makes a good line. It was a good line.
no, I mean, it was.
It was a good line.
It's coming down to it.
Was that the line made by like FanDuel or you
Nope,
guys?
that was a line
No,
made
No,
by
it's an
Callan
actual
Cade.
line. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Guess you
Cade
go
was,
work in Vegas.
Cade was saying 10. You think I throw 10 picks?
No, I wasn't saying
We
that.
got-
I
we
was
gotta
saying he was gonna
revisit
throw
that episode.
15.
I want to revisit that conversation.
Was it at the beginning of the season? Is that when we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go back and find that. But okay, realistically, so who gets in? Because
Colts.
so this
Colts.
is
The Colts
okay.
get
So
in,
Colts
and
lock
Chargers.
one up,
Colts
and then
and
it's
Colts are
between
playing the
Chargers
worst
and
team.
Raiders.
The Colts are
Colts
playing
and
the worst team in the
Chargers.
NFL. Or one of the worst teams.
Colts and Chargers. They're going to fill the last spots.
The,
You think
wait,
the
the
Chargers beat
Raiders.
Raiders?
Wait, if the Raiders beat
Yes.
the Chargers, they're in.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a win and it's a win
it
and
is
get in.
winning in
Wow.
Sunday night
Yeah.
football.
That's-
winning in.
That's
the Colts
actually
lose, we
fantastic.
win,
That
we're in.
the Raiders. I'll tell you what,
Yes.
the Raiders have been a really good story this year. Shout out them.
No, shout
on a
out to
4-game
Rich,
winning streak.
Rich
It's a horrible
Bisaccia.
story.
Rich Bisaccia, they're new head coach, dude.
Dude, it's a horrible story. The Raiders have been through so much shit this year.
No, it's a movie. It's an actual movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's a good story for them to keep persevering to possibly play for the playoffs.
Team building.
Yeah.
Big team building.
Character building moments.
The craziest story would be a movie for sure. If they win the Super Bowl somehow.
Oh my God, it'd be a 30 for 30.
Oh, for sure.
Have
to 2021.
It'd have to be.
Raiders.
You know who's the
Runs,
glue?
rooted.
Derek Carr and his religious ass is the glue, and you gotta appreciate that about the guy.
I think Max Crosby, dude. Shout out Max Crosby.
He really does love the whole other man.
And with John
Nick
Madden,
Bowers.
too.
Okay, but yo, honest to God question here. Like,
Nick Bowers.
honest to God. Woo! God, just humor me for a second on this shit. Because if the Jaguars do win, okay? Thank you. If the Jaguars do win, because the Chargers and the Raiders played the last game of the entire day to decide the playoffs, and you know you can both make it if you tie. Do you try and tie so you both make it?
No.
Not against a divisional rival.
I'd be like trying to tie the Ravens for us. No, we're not going to do that. I'd rather see...
There's just no way to
No,
do it.
it's
The only way is
stupid.
no one score at all. and just
Everybody
0
kneel and 0-0.
The biggest sham in NFL
That would be
history.
scoregami too.
Would be.
No, I understand that.
I'd
can't
throw it
happen,
all on the
but
draw.
That would be. I'm 100% putting money on the draw. 100%.
Don't try to sit home,
If the
kids.
Jaguars somehow miraculously win,
that
I'm
even an
putting money on
option?
the draw.
Yeah. Tie's an option. Absolutely.
Yes, I am. After a few drinks, baby girl.
Okay.
All right, let's head over to the NFC then. Okay, well, who do we think makes it? Colts and Chargers.
That's where I'm
Colts
going. I'm
Chargers.
going Colts Chargers. Yep.
Maybe
I'm
so.
going Colts Chargers.
Steelers, baby. Let's go.
I mean, and if not, yeah, I'll go Chargers Steelers. All right, over to the NFC. The number 1 seed that has home
It's
field
not
advantage and a bye
technically-
is the Packers.
It's not
What's up?
technically a line for a tie, but you can move it to make it 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 seed in the NFC is Packers, and then also in are the Buccaneers, Cowboys, Eagles, Rams, and Cardinals, with the bubble teams being the 49ers and Saints. So the Eagles already do have the 7th seed locked up. They can't move regardless.
Wait, the Eagles can move up, actually. They can move up.
I didn't think.
Yes, they can move
Why
up.
aren't they the 6th seed right now then?
Because if who's in the 6th seed?
If the 49ers get in.
Yes,
they
if the
move up.
49ers can be removed from the playoffs.
The 49ers are in the
No,
bubble.
that's
right
what the 49ers are not in right now. They
Right.
are.
Yeah.
So
they
the
have,
Eagles
they have to win to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Eagles clinch, but the 49ers have not. And that I think whatever
Correct.
the scenario works out is that if the Eagles win on Sunday and the 49ers lose, that they would move to the 6th seed. And I can't remember who slides in the 7. I don't remember the exact scenario.
Well, it would be the Saints then.
Yeah, because the Eagles can still get the 6th seed, but they have a 95% chance of staying in the 7th spot.
Okay,
So,
see, I thought they were locked into 7.
no, they are not
And
locked
then
into 7.
Either the Saints or the 49ers get the 6th seed.
No, because the Eagles beat the Saints, and they would have a better record if the Eagles win. So they would win the tiebreaker, and they would have a better conference record. I mean, a better divisional record.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the Eagles can get the 6th seed, but it's a 95% chance that they don't get the 6th seed. That there's a 95% chance right now they play the Rams as a 2 seed, which would be a big fat loss.
I mean, that'd be a really good game, honestly.
See, I don't think so because I think the Rams are so flighty. Like
The Rams are incredibly suspect, dude.
The
That's what I'm
3
saying.
seed is who?
The 3 seed right now is the Buccaneers. No,
Okay,
the 3
no.
seed. right
I
now
would
is
rather play the Bucks.
The Bucks are dead in the water right now.
I would rather play the Bucks for 2 reasons. One, the Eagles can contain. If the Eagles can contain the run game of Tampa Bay, which they have the number 3 or number 4 run defense in the NFL, all the Eagles have to do is continue to run the ball as good as they do. And I don't know how Tom Brady's going to have the time in the game that he had against the Jets to be able to come back, because they're going to have to come back.
That last drive was the most vile shit I've ever seen. The Jets win the game for 58 minutes straight, and then they lose because they can't pressure a 45-year-old fucking idiot. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that throw was so good. Yeah, the dude was wide open, and Tom stood in there for fucking 5 seconds.
Right.
Like, anybody can make that throw.
Right. So I'm just saying personally, I think that if the Philadelphia Eagles play against the Buccaneers, they have a better chance of winning than the Rams. Only because I don't think the Rams are getting back Cam Akers too. So like I really feel like the Rams.
Honestly, dude, Sony Michel's been one of the best backs in the league, other than Jonathan Taylor. Like I think in yards since the beginning of December, Sony Michel is second.
The Rams, I think they're going to do well. I mean, if that game is not close, if there isn't 2 interceptions by Matt Stafford, so I think they're going to run the ball a crap ton.
Fucking Rams should have lost the other week too. He threw 3 picks and they still won.
Mm-hmm. The Rams are good.
Like Stafford has the most pick sixes in the league right now. I think with like 7 as well.
See, I would not want to play. I
It's
also
absurd.
would rather play Bruce Arians over Sean McVay any day of the week. From like a defensive, like
I think regardless, right now you want to play the Bucks over the Rams, and I
actually think
personally,
the only team I actually think I would rather play the
Are you
Bucks.
sure?
What?
yes,
I mean, the Bucks got the Packers number.
that's with a healthy wide receiver core and a suffocating defense. They have neither of those right now.
I would rather play the Bucks than the Cowboys because Dak at home is an elite quarterback. Dak on the road is a trash quarterback.
But Kyler Murray is 9-0 in Dallas in Jerry World.
Yep.
And right now the Cowboys will be playing the Cardinals again.
I loved it. It was so great to watch.
Oh no, I mean it's great. I mean it's just like Aaron Rodgers going down there. Rodgers has never lost in Jerry World. I mean hell, he won a Super Bowl there.
yeah.
Ain't that right?
He cheated.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Paul Amalu decapitated Greg Jennings.
Cheated.
Yeah, right now, and then, I mean, so right now how it works out, Packers by Rams, Eagles. How I'm going to assume it's going to fall is 49ers, Buccaneers.
Who the
and
49ers
then
playing?
Right now, they'd play the Buccaneers. They'd go to Tampa.
No, who do they play this week?
Oh, this week?
It's a divisional game.
Is it
The Cardinals?
Seattle?
No, they play the Rams. Yeah. Also, McVay has lost 5 times in San Fran, 5 times in a row. So
Yeah, I think Trey Lance is playing too.
Trey
Starting.
Lance is starting, yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy G's done for the year. He has the same thing that happened to Russ. So yeah, that game. I mean,
I got a feeling he's gonna be our quarterback next year.
just for Kate, who the Cowboys play?
This week, the Eagles. Saturday night.
Okay, it is the Eagles.
Saturday night.
Okay, so those 2 games right there, that basically decides the seeding in the NFC. Then
Yes.
is the Rams and 49ers and Cowboys, Eagles, and then because the Buccaneers are going to beat the shit out of the Panthers.
Yeah.
Well,
So right now the Buccaneers,
Are you sure?
Buccaneers realistically probably move to second
I think the Rams will beat the 49ers.
in San Fran.
Yep. Yep.
We'll see, but if that is the case, then Rams stay. Buccaneers again. I'm just saying the Bucks win. They'll stay at 3. Then that would put the Saints in there at 5, and the Buccaneers would play the Saints, and I fucking love that. I actually want that to happen now. Can that please happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bucks.
Saints have their number, dude. Saints fucking destroy the Bucks.
They really know how to game plan them.
No, Sean Payton knows how to beat Bruce Arians' offense. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would still, Eagles, Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys. Yeah, the only thing that would change is instead of the 49ers, be the Saints in there. Going off of that scenario where the Eagles win and the Rams win. Nothing changes. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. The NFC is going to be an interesting one regardless, just because, again, I saw this tweeted, but, like, I genuinely do think the 14 best teams right now are in contention for the, like, playoffs. Like how it sits right now.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say with. Are the Saints in technically right now?
Saints are not in. They're the 8th seed.
Okay, then yeah. If the Saints were in, I would say no.
Yeah, right now the 49ers are the 6th seed and the Eagles are the 7th seed. And over the last 10 weeks, I would say that, yeah, these are the best 14 teams. That's just me, though.
I would. So technically, are the Chargers technically in right now? And the
Chargers are in. If the season was to end right now, Chargers are the 7th seed.
Okay. Yeah, then I agree with that.
Because yeah, they have the first time, like they have the one game over the Raiders, but if
Hey,
the Raiders win this game,
By the way, the Arizona could still win the NFC West. The NFC West isn't locked up either.
so the 49ers have to win.
If
And
the Cardinals win and the Rams lose, the Cardinals will become the 2 seed.
I don't think they become the 2 seed. I think it's the Buccaneers become the 2 seed because again, the Buccaneers I think are just beating the Panthers.
I think but I think the Cardinals have a better record.
No, the Cardinals are 11-5, and if the Buccaneers do win, then they are 13-4.
Oh, okay. I thought the Bucks had 5 losses.
No, because the Jets should have fucking beat them, but they can't. Yeah, Buccaneers only have 4 losses, so the Bucks would hop to 2. The Cardinals would be 3, I believe. Yeah, because the Cardinals will have a tiebreaker over the Cowboys, so that would put the Cowboys at 4 still. Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought the Cardinals were basically locked into 5. No, it does say clinch playoffs instead of division. Interesting. All right. Well, speaking of the Buccaneers, do we want to talk? Do we have anything for the playoffs? Do we want to do predictions or anything yet, or do we want to wait?
I don't think so. I think we should do that next week after I think it's figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once seating's locked up, then we can have a whole playoff prediction episode.
Playoffs and awards.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about the Buccaneers player. Antonio Brown is again. People can say what they want. Like, yeah, it's sad and everything, and like if it is a mental illness, fucking so be it. Like, I understand. But the point is, if it is that, he shouldn't be playing. That's my opinion. Like, people keep giving him all these chances, and yet he keeps doing this shit. So yeah, say it's mental illness or whatever, but he's still playing in the NFL, so he's absolutely available for scrutiny. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. Dude clearly has fucking bipolar disorder, CTE, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, he has to be done in the NFL. Has to.
I was super surprised. Even like we're bringing it back to like the Big Ben thing is like he posted that video about Big Ben
Not
like,
retiring, yeah.
he looked like so like locked in for something like that, but then at the same time took his clothes off in the middle of thousands of fucking people and walked out of a building.
All because he was told to go back in.
Yeah. When he has incentives.
8 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown, and he gets $1 million fucking dollars. That's literally a game for AB.
Yeah. Well, especially with the week before he had 10 catches.
He's the number 1 option when Mike Evans was injured. Yeah. He's the number 2 right now to a very good team.
Yeah. And there's arguments where he's almost the number 1 option even when Mike Evans is playing.
Even when Evans and Godwin are there. Yeah. You can still make the debate. I mean, he's still, like, realistically, look at his numbers. He's a top 10 receiver of all time. Now, whether I put him lower or higher than everyone else, that is what it is. But I think you got to give him at least top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a thing. It says there's going to be a study that comes out on Antonio Brown that's going to completely cripple the NFL.
No, it's going to shut him down. Another thing. Hey, circling back. Shout out Mike Tomlin for 9 years of this motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. I saw that thing too. It was like
there's going to be a 30 for 30.
The greatest feats in all of sports.
Great idea, Evan.
Mike Tomlin suffered through Antonio Brown for 9 seasons.
I will say that there should be a 30 for 30 on the triple Bs.
Yeah.
There probably, realistically, there will be. Also, I saw Lev Bell's tweet about Big Ben too.
Big Ben, yeah, that was a good tweet.
Yeah.
Le'Veon was the only
maybe not a 30 for 30, but like definitely like a documentary on it because it was a crazy time.
I mean, Le'Veon didn't leave on bad terms like AB did. It's not even relatively close. He did the sitting out thing is like I don't think is bad terms. It was a contract negotiation. They couldn't meet in the middle, so he didn't provide a service. End of story. I mean, granted, it didn't pan out for him, and like that's whatever.
What happened with Le'Veon Bell?
But like what business. AB did is
what
like
happened with
crazy.
Le'Veon Bell was business. What happened with AB was
personal
psycho shit.
Yes.
Personal psycho shit.
We can blame Vontaze Burfict for ruining a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, Burfict
it's
hit more than 1 time in the head.
It is 100% that shot by Vontaze that triggered all of this.
Is Antonio Brown a Hall of Famer though?
No.
I don't think so either.
Again, I will give him
he's top 25 in every statistic that he.
No. I just said I'll give him top 10 receiver of all time. He's not like people wanted to hold it against T.O.
Yeah.
When T.O.'s arguably a top 3 receiver of all time.
Yeah, AB's not as good as AB's ability isn't going to carry that.
And significantly worse of a cancer.
if he gets in, they're about equal.
No.
If he gets in,
No, Cal. AB quit in the middle of a fucking football game. T.O. was
Also
just
has a
mad.
video-
T.O.
has
was
a
mad
video-
because he knew he was open every freaking play and didn't get the ball. That's
T.O.'s
all he was
still
mad
to
about.
this day- T.O. still to this day blames his Super Bowl loss on his quarterback going out and getting drunk the night
Dude, he
before.
played on a broken
And that's
leg.
fine. He
It
played
doesn't
on
matter.
a broken leg.
That doesn't
Son-
make him a
son-
cancer. He played 1 year. He was gone.
I mean, he definitely was a cancer. I mean, but I'm saying he's a bigger one than if you're saying right now that T.O. wasn't a cancer kid,
I'm not
You're
saying he
saying he
wasn't a
wasn't?
cancer.
that's what you just said.
No. T.O. was not nearly as much of a cancer. T.O. did not
I agree.
bring.
I 100% agree.
Okay,
I understand
but
what
like
you're saying.
you just
T.O.
questioned
was
that
a
T.O.
cancer.
is worse than Antonio Brown.
T.O. was a cancer.
Definite cancer, but I think there's degrees to it. And like working out in your driveway and crying about your quarterback and blaming your quarterback. I mean, we have
But what I was saying,
receivers
anyways, is
blame
that
their quarterbacks all the time.
if AB gets in to the Hall of Fame, it'll be at his very last few years of eligibility, because
Okay, yeah, I
because
agree with that.
of-
I don't
Definitely
think
not
he should
going to be a first or couple ballot guy. No way.
no,
No.
because especially because of his antics. Statistics wise, he should be, but antics wise, is gonna keep him out. I mean, there's still people arguing right now, just talking about Big Ben, that he's not a first ballot.
Which is the
And
most
what-
absurd shit I've
which
ever heard.
His career is what his career is. It's not
See,
even
so
close
this
to what
is-
it
No, you saw the shit last night.
I will say
He's
this
one
about
of 3 players with 60,000 yards in two or more Super Bowls.
I will say about AB.
in top 5 in all statistical categories.
Yes, and Ben
And most
Roethlisberger.
500-yard games. Like AB is a first, or not AB. Sorry,
Big
Ben
Ben's
is a first.
yes, he's the
ballot.
first ballot. He's one of the guys you look around and they're like, is he in the Hall of Fame? And like 99% of people say yes. The one thing I will say about AB, that I think even if AB's antics isn't what ended his career, say like an injury ended his career, like even like today, say like everything played out the same, like he went, like I won't even say the Patriots, because I mean that was all the antics, so it's kind of hard for me to say
No, but
that. I'll say if he played his last snap for the Pittsburgh Steelers and he never played a snap after that again, he is not a Hall of Famer in my opinion.
if he would have stayed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, though, he definitely easily would have.
I agree with that, but I'm saying if he
He
would have
would've
never,
first
if
ballot.
I'm saying if he would have had a career-ending injury and he never played another snap after the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver because
with
he
the
didn't do it for
talent
long
that
enough.
he had and what they did with him, between him and Ben, the connection that they had. If he would have stayed his entire career with Ben
Yeah.
up until this year, he would be in that conversation of top 5 all time.
No, I don't.
It's
I
a
don't
lot of
disagree with that.
speculation. It's a lot of speculation, but that's where the fucking projection was going.
I think
No,
the
it's
only
a big,
reason
it's a big what if, but again, like I don't think you can make that. You can't say no
yeah.
because, like, yeah, Ben had his injury. Ben definitely declined over the last year and a half, but like the trajectory, as you just said, was there.
I would say
Like, again, I
AB
will
only
give him
gets in
top
because he
10.
won
I
the
will
Super Bowl last
wholeheartedly
year.
do that. He's not a Hall of Fame receiver, though, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
of everything that comes along with Antonio Brown.
I think Antonio Brown will only get in the Hall of Fame because he won the Super Bowl last year. That's it. That's it. If he did
And
not
had
win
a
the
good-
Super Bowl,
and had a good Super Bowl.
yeah.
Like he caught like 7 catches. He had,
If
like,
he
7
did
or
not
8
win a
catches.
Super Bowl, in my opinion, I don't think he's a like. I think the Super Bowl is what's going to kind of blanket the antics a little bit and make it kind of like gray. Like, yeah, this dude was kind of whacked out.
Hey,
but he
also,
was,
big shout out. I completely forgot this was a thing and was reminded earlier. He did sign with the Bills for like 2 days.
Yes.
AB
And
technically
then-
was a Buffalo
and then-
Bill
and
for a
then
hot
said-
second.
And then
When?
said peace out.
Yeah, no, and then went to the Raiders, and then took a hot air balloon. to
wait,
fucking
no, the
training camp.
Steelers traded for him, and then the trade got reversed, right? I mean, not the Steelers. The Steelers traded him to the Bills, and it got reversed.
But he was technically a Bill
was a
for
Bill.
like 2 days.
Yeah,
Whack.
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah.
And
I
then,
don't.
yeah,
I
the
don't.
whole
like,
Raiders thing. I mean, never played a snap for the Raiders.
You gotta
eventually
think-
burnt his feet. Put out that video of him running around his yard like a fucking idiot. Like,
You gotta think, dude. Like, there's guys like just in retrospect to like other players. Like, I'll say just someone that like is like easy for the conversation. Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson had years of success, won a Super Bowl, no antics, all that kind of stuff. Like, just a quiet, like good wide
I mean,
receiver.
compared to AB, much harder worker.
Yeah, he will not be in the Hall of Fame.
No, not even close. You won't sniff.
So,
it.
like,
Devontae
obviously,
is on
AD's
a
better than
trajectory to
Jordy
do it.
Nelson, and I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying that like I think it's extremely hard as a wide receiver to get there, and I feel like either
No, you have
one
to be transcendent to make the
Right.
Marvin Harrison
And he
makes
was,
it.
and he
T.O.
was that. He was that, but he just was
for a while.
it was for like like in
6-7
comparison to
years.
other receivers a heartbeat. It was like a 3 to 4 year stretch of like really really great football.
I think it was like 5, 6.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 5 years in a row he had over 1,000 yards catching.
Yeah, but 1,000 yards receiving
And
isn't what's going to
and
get you in the Hall of Fame as a wide receiver.
He almost.
There's
he
a
had
lot of
100
receivers in the NFL that
but I
get
know,
1,000 yards
like,
a year.
that 5 year stretch, he
6.
had over 100 catches. He had over 100
Read
catches.
his numbers, Ev, over those years.
Yeah, 6 in a row. So it's first one 2013, 1,500 yards, 110 catches.
That's great.
14, 1,700 yards, 129 catches.
Yep.
15, 136 for 1,834 yards.
Crazy.
106 for 1,284. 101 for 1,533. And 104 for 1,297. So
Okay, so
6
it's-
years.
That's 2 years longer than I thought it was.
In the 1 year, I think he had what, like
And he had
How many
15
touchdowns?
touchdowns in
yeah, I was gonna say
2018.
he had 16
12 and
touchdowns, something
16,
like that.
10 and 15, 13 and 14, 8 and 13,
Mm-hmm.
9 and 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Hall of Fame numbers.
Yes,
That,
100%.
that year
For
that-
for
that
6
year in
months though. I
16
mean,
Yeah,
in that
but the only
year-
problem is it's only
Or
6
6
years. Like it's only 6
yeah,
years.
Yeah,
Like Marvin Harrison, a guy like Marvin Harrison did that for 13.
yeah. I mean, even Megatron did it for 10 and then retired.
that year and 16 was the year that Carson Wentz, you guys won the Super Bowl, everything.
17. 18.
Yeah, but the year 16 and the 17.
AB
It
should
was
have
17
won it,
and
yes.
18 this year.
He should have won the MVP that year. Should have.
It was 17 and 18 was the year.
8 years.
Because
Should've-
we won the Super Bowl in 2018 and the season was 17 and 18.
Should have won the MVP that year.
Again,
Yeah.
my point with receivers though is you have to be transcendent. Like I mean at the top of your game for prolonged time.
I agree.
Unfortunately for me, AB doesn't meet that, but like his peak was as high as
His
anybody
peak
else's.
is
I'll give him
top,
that,
like
but-
Ty said, top 10 all time.
I mean, Marvin Harrison had those type of numbers for 8 years, and we're talking AB is 6. So
You're saying
those
that
type
Marvin
of
Harrison
numbers,
only had
or,
8.
Like, are you saying that like after 8 years, like Marvin Harrison just retired, or what?
no, I'm saying, I mean, his first 3 years, he didn't have 1,000 receiving. I'm just going on.
Right.
Okay, was it 800 or more?
Yeah, 2 of
Okay.
them.
Okay,
So I mean,
like-
so was AB though. I can go back and look at a couple seasons for AB that were 800 or more, for sure.
But also,
So,
Marvin Harrison was the
I
quiet
mean-
guy that just came in, did his job.
No,
And had Peyton Manning.
yeah, Marvin Harrison is totally deserving of being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 100,000%. I agree. But I don't know, the longevity thing. I mean, man, if Antonio Brown would have played maybe a full year this year instead of getting hurt, I mean, he was having a great year until he got hurt.
Again, statistically, no one is arguing against AB. I don't think that's it. It's
Yeah, the stuff.
precedent-
Yeah,
the precedent was set with Terrell Owens that off-field activities affect your Hall of Fame ballot. And when you're asking me to weigh those two's off-field antics and
It's
on-the-field
because-
antics now,
Humans vote. Humans
Yeah,
vote.
it's-
It's not math. It's humans
motherfucking
vote.
Barry Bonds wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, guys.
not in the
Barry
Hall of
Bonds
Fame.
is still not
Still
in
not
it.
in
This
it.
is last year. This
Still
is
not in
last
it.
year of eligibility.
Last year for eligibility.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear anything about fucking Antonio Brown again.
Yeah. This
Okay,
is last year.
listen,
of
Barry
So-
Bonds was
Barry
one of
Bonds
the
guys-
greatest players of all time.
Guys, again, I'm comparing him to someone who I think had a prolonged
Different.
peak, a longer peak. He was not as good. I'm not saying he was as good because he definitely was not, in my opinion. But Reggie Wayne is not in the Hall of Fame. Okay, and this is a player over the stretch. This is a stretch of 8 years. Okay, he had 77 catches, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Next year he had 8,300, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Next year he had 86 catches, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. The next year he had 104, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns. The next year he had 82 catches, 1,145, 6 touchdowns. The next year he had 1,264, 10 touchdowns. The next year he had 111 catches, 1,355 yards, and 12 touchdowns. He only played 8 games the next season. He had 75 catches for 960 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then his last good year before he retired the following year, He had 106 catches for 1,355 yards and 5 touchdowns. So I'm saying AB's better than him, and AB's peak is definitely better than his. But I mean, I just named 8 to 9 seasons of 100 catches and
that's
1,300 yards and
play.
almost 10 touchdowns,
Then
and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Not yet. Not yet. There's a chance
Right,
for-
but I'm saying, but that's like
and that's where I was saying if Big Ben, I mean not Big Ben, if AB gets in, it will be later, like deep into his
100%.
It rightfully should be.
Right.
Again,
he's definitely one of those. He's one of those players that we look back as one of the big if.
Yeah,
one of the
like,
biggest-
man.
Oh, it's a
like,
massive what if.
Yeah, like
He'll forever be that way because you rattle off like Evan just did. Those
Yeah,
stats over,
I mean,
over
there
a
was-
span of
there-
6 years, and then you say, oh, what happened to him? In year 8, 9, 10. Oh well, he decided to
for
burn
4
his feet
different
off in a
teams.
cryo chamber, fly a fucking blimp into practice, and quit in the middle of a game.
yeah.
It's like
Like-
it's like God rest his soul. It's like Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas's peak was ridiculous, but like he just didn't do it.
No,
Like that.
his 4-year run with Peyton was like top 3 receivers.
And that sucks
in the
because
league.
I loved watching Antonio Brown. I loved the whole business booming. I thought, but to be fair though, that I will say about AB was everything was quiet out of Pittsburgh until shit finally hit the fan. That is the one thing. Pittsburgh was extremely good at, like, no one even knew that like these negative things were happening with AB until literally like the sexual assault allegations came. That's another thing too.
And going 150 miles an hour down a road that's literally a 30 mile an hour, and then
Right.
throwing a couch out of a balcony.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things you forget. A lot of things. He punched a cop.
Yeah.
Fought a cop. in
No,
his front yard.
he's honest to God, like
He's
a
a piece
shitty
of-
human being.
He's
yeah,
a piece of
he's a
shit,
terrible
yeah.
human being. He
Like
is.
you can be who you can afford to be, and he can afford to be whoever the fuck he wanted to be, because as we're all agreeing here, he is a top 10 receiver of all time.
Yeah.
Like, again, that's the reason he got to fake a Vax card this year and didn't get cut, even though Bruce Arians last year said he has one opportunity. That wasn't fucking true.
Yeah, he did fuck up pretty bad with that.
You think?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's a federal. It's like forging a
It's
social
a
security
federal
card.
crime right
It's
now.
it's like forcing a social security card.
I
I just can't believe he quit. He literally screwed my fantasy team. Like, I mean, like,
it's not just that he quit, but like
I was
originally
playing
we were
against
like,
Evan
oh,
in the
he's going
championship, and next thing I
six,
know, I
so
see
he-
AB's literally leaving the field. I'm like, what is happening? Why?
What's up, Evan?
Evan won.
No, he said my fantasy. I just went like this.
Oh, yeah. No, again, like it wasn't even because originally we thought like, oh, maybe he was getting told like to sit down and he wasn't going to get those incentives, even though it's the Patriots the Buccaneers, and like they have a bunch of veteran players that took smaller contracts, and those incentives that aren't on the salary cap are the reason that they're there. So I feel like they push them more towards it. And then we come to find out like, no, Bruce Arians said like go in, and AB just didn't want to play, and then BA said get out.
Yep.
And then he does this while it is 3rd down and Tom Brady is on the field. He takes his shirt off and runs through the other end zone. Like it's crazy people shit. But with all of that being said, do we want to move on to a different sport, or do we have something else to add in the NFL?
No, I'm good with the NFL.
All right.
TJ Watt's
So this
gonna break
is
the record.
what is
TJ Watt's gonna break the record.
TJ Watt is definitely going to break the record. I also don't think Cooper Kupp is breaking that record.
No, I don't either.
He needs like 230 yards and like 10 catches and a touchdown. Well, no, he's not even getting close to the touchdown record.
No,
Yeah,
he's not gonna-
I don't think
he's
he's
not
going to
gonna
sniff.
sure
I don't think he's sniffing the yardage record either. But he already came out and said like, I don't think mine should count even if I do, because like it's an extra game.
Yeah.
And what they did in 16 games is way more impressive than what I can do in 17 games.
If he would have did it this week, I would give him credit for it.
No, I mean it's like if TJ does it, that's 15 games that he did it in. That is 100% valid to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because again, he was injured for 2 of them. So...
Yeah. He was injured for 2 of them, but he was also out of.
Well, I was gonna say that one.
two
That
other
one game
halves
he was.
football.
I
Out
was
of
gonna
the
say that one
first
game he
quarter.
only played the first half that I watched.
In the
Yeah.
one game, he only played the first quarter.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, TJ's. If I hope he does get it legitimately. Like I don't even understand how it's a debate for defensive player of the year. Like I understand Micah Parsons is flashy and he's like the new young toy, but like,
He's kind of.
does anyone
He's
understand
gotten
what
kinda
TJ
quiet.
Watt is truly doing?
Yeah.
Like in less games than most normal seasons, he is about to break the sack record set by Michael
He'll
fucking
get
Strahan.
snubbed. Aaron Donald will get it again, and then all will be right with the
Well,
rule.
hey, Cal, by advanced metrics, I did see a spreadsheet. By advanced metrics, Aaron Donald is still the best defensive player by a wide margin. So
Yeah, huge.
But the ones that no one sees that literally like computers come up with. But
Yeah, huge margin.
yeah.
Yeah, screw the computer.
All right. Well, in our hiatus, boys, the NHL actually shut down like for 2 full weeks, and the NBA has been literally signing whoever they can off of the street that's over the height of 6'4". COVID has run a rampage on these 2 leagues. NHL is finally back. The Canadian teams are actually back down to having no attendees. I believe they might be back up to 50% capacity.
I think there's something like that in the NBA too.
Yeah, I mean, it may very well be. I'm going to a Nuggets game this Friday, and I know that I have to have my vax card and wear a mask and everything. So.
Well, I know. I saw a thing of
Toronto. Toronto's no fans right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the entire. It's the same. So it's that entire like Montreal area, like everything south of Montreal and like in Toronto and Ottawa and all of that. They have no fans at the NHL games. I know that. So yeah, COVID's just been running wild on these 2 leagues, while the NFL has also been dealing with their own issues, but they're kind of just at this point not making up their own rules, but making it work, because at one point they had I don't know, it was like 7 starting quarterbacks in crunch time football that have never seen a snap. So
Yep.
It wasn't good, but the NFL is getting by compared to these other 2 leagues. I mean, hell, Kate, at one point, the Bulls had 11 people on the COVID list?
There was only 24 people in the entire protocols in the NBA, and the Bulls had 11.
Yeah, which is just insane when you think about an NBA roster being 12 people? 11 people?
I think they run
15.
Is it 15?
I think they run 15.
I think the one thing though about it when it comes as like as a fan or a franchise or anything like that, I'd almost rather have it be it like that, where the Bulls like, hey, we're gonna go, it's 1 week where we lost everyone, and then we're good the rest of the year. Rather than
it's way better that way.
you lose Lonzo Ball for this, then you lose DeRozan, then you lose like bits and pieces throughout the year. Hey, we just chalked a week. Screw it.
Well, and that's
There's 82
dude,
games in the
that right
season.
now. I mean, just to double back on the NFL, since we're talking about COVID, like the Cowboys, for example. I mean, the Eagles are dealing with it right now, but like if you're gonna get COVID and have a COVID outbreak in your building, you want it right now this week before you get to the playoffs.
Yep, chalk it.
Because if you get into the playoffs, like, and you have it, oh buddy,
Chalk it.
It's rough.
like it's not gonna like. What if Tom Brady gets COVID in their first game, like the divisional game or the wild card weekend? Like, is the NFL gonna allow that to happen? Like,
No, Tom Brady, no shot. No shot.
But that's my whole thing. Like, it's
They
crazy to
lose
think
money.
about.
They hear losing money, then they're not gonna let it happen.
No, that's the crazy thing is like we have to like legitimately think about that. Like, what is the NFL gonna do if Tom Brady 2 days, prior to a playoff game, self-reports and says, "Hey, I have some flu-like symptoms," tests and has COVID? Like, are they legitimately going to like say, "Tom, shut the fuck up," or "Okay, yeah, no, you're not gonna play on Super Wild Card Weekend"? Like, what? Come on. We know the answer. It's a business.
Yep.
But that's what's crazy about the NFL and the NBA is, again, the NHL shut down for 2 full weeks. They have not played a game like over the entire holiday break.
Yeah.
Which and in that time they also straight up told all of the players to get bent. You're not playing in the Olympics.
Which is so sad.
Well, it definitely sucks, but at the same time, again, I understand it because, I mean, let's look at the timetable. So you already have to take a 2-week break for the Olympics if they were to go over there and play, like put all games on pause. They just did that with COVID where there was a 2-week break, so push it back 2 weeks already. If you do the Olympics, push it back 2 more weeks. And then the NHL is also going to have a depleted talent pool for 5 weeks because to go to the Olympics right now, you have to sit in quarantine for 5 weeks prior to entering China.
5 weeks?
Oh, then they just can't do
5 weeks before you get to go to the Olympic Village.
Mother.
That's
What do
ridiculous.
you do?
So
Wait,
That's ridiculous.
no, so realistically, like again, Evan, I'm 100% on board. The Olympics are so much better when we have Ovechkin, Marchand, Landeskog, Patrick Kane, Sid playing for like McKinnon playing for all of these like national teams, like way better. I mean, just you
Oh
can't.
my
beat
god,
that
the Canada team would be so nasty, dude.
McKinnon, Crosby, and McDavid on the same fucking line, dog.
Yeah.
On a power play with
Yeah.
Cale Makar on the blue line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. Like obviously, any like Olympic
It
hockey
sucks
is
for
just
guys.
fucking
It sucks
awesome.
for guys like Ovi and Sid, where it's probably would have been their
More than
last
likely
chance.
their last time. I
Their
mean,
last
you're not going to
chance
tell
to play.
either of them that they can't play in 4 more years.
Oh,
like,
I just want to see that so bad.
like yeah, I mean, realistically, like in
Fuck
4 more
COVID.
years, they could both play at a reduced role. I mean, they'll both be pushing 30, late 30s, 40s.
Oh, that's good.
He's 36, isn't he?
Yeah, and Sid's 34, I believe.
Yeah. Same with Gino. I mean, but I think Gino might have 2 more years of hockey before his knees explode. So
Yeah, he's waiting.
no, so that's unfortunate. But again, from the NHL's perspective, after having a 2-week delay already, I completely understand their decision to not let it happen because that's 7 more weeks of depleted or pushed back play for the NHL. Which I mean, again, you're putting the Stanley Cup back into like July, like it was last year.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult. Like I do understand. I hate it, but I understand, especially again from a business decision where they're coming from. The NBA, on the other hand, has just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna keep playing, and I don't care who has to suit up." Like I mean, I've enjoyed all the older tired guys saying like, "Hey, you can sign me for a 10-day. I'll take a couple mil and play."
Yeah.
Cade, where are we on that? Like, are we back out? Like, are we on the other side of that, or are there still teams that are just getting completely fucked by?
We're actually a lot better than they were, but it's still not. I mean, they're still here. I'll look up how many players are right now. How many NBA players in protocol?
I'm trying to think. The Broncos, like last week, just had like 15 people on the COVID reserve list, but this week they're all back.
There's only 16 players right now for the NBA.
Okay, so that's way better than like the 105 that like they had
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago.
The Eagles put down 24 players this week on the call.
Yeah, but again, like that's what I was saying earlier. Is I think it's better to do it this week and just say fuck it. You guys are in the playoffs regardless.
Well, no. What they're
Get it done
doing,
and out of the way.
no, what they're doing is that they did it because like with the new like whatever it's called, the new
COVID protocol.
yeah, the new protocol. The way that they're doing it is you don't have to because like Dallas Goedert was tested positive like literally 3 weeks ago, and was able to make the game.
So he was unvaccinated then, right?
No, he is vaccinated.
Oh,
Well-
so he just hasn't produced a negative test.
Right. So that's why they all put him on there because the only thing they have to do is produce a negative test then.
Yeah, if you're vaccinated, you like it's 5 days, or if you can produce a negative test twice within 48 hours.
Right. So literally that's why they did it. So then they can get him on there now so then they don't have to work like try to like do it like because obviously Eagles are playing earlier too in the week. So then they don't have to worry about it. Like it wasn't like, oh, they're practicing and now on Wednesday gotta go on it. They're like anyone who had any type of tracing or anything like that, they just threw them on it. So then they can go through the protocol and be back to play Sunday or Saturday. You guys have anything else?
I think that's really all I have.
I've been
is
looking
just
at
that
bets.
It is pretty absurd what COVID is still doing. Omicron is just ravaging everything, but I mean that's where we're at. Yeah, I'm really just hoping that the world kind of gets back to normal because again, like I enjoy going to sporting events and I'm sick of this
Yeah.
shit.
Me too.
Yep.
All right, so betting segment time. Is that where we're at?
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, no, massive shout out again to Cade for actually winning the son of a bitch last year. I can actually say last year, which is weird to think about because you did.
I'd like to thank my friends and family and my dog.
So again, just if you're listening or watching along on YouTube, by the way, I don't know why you're not watching us live on YouTube right now. That's on you. But yeah, so this year we're going to be doing it a little different and a little bit of the same. We're still going to keep records, but we're also going to be keeping units for the entire year. So I mean, realistically, like Evan can go with 39 and 58 again, but he can win the most money if all of his bets are obviously worth more.
And it's okay, let's declare this now. The winner's going to be units, not record. Right?
We can do one of each. Because
So I've set up an Excel sheet where I'm keeping both. So
I think we should do. I think we should do who makes the most money.
Down like I always do.
I think it's got to go.
You don't have to do that, Ty. I have shared the Excel sheet with everybody.
It's for Charles when he edits the video, though.
Oh, you're right. Well, I can add Charles' email in here too, where he has access to it.
That's fair.
I'll
just do this because I just hand him it and he timestamps it on here. So
no, Ty. What I'm saying is I think that, in my personal opinion,
okay,
I think that we should do the winners units.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, like, sure, I won and I had the best record, but I might not have won the most money. So, like, would you rather win the most money or win more bets? Correct.
Win the most money.
You'd rather win the most money.
I'm not arguing.
Question.
Yeah, right. Okay. I just want to make sure that we set we set it like
we can do, if we're gonna do it, we can do units absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Question. So my two bets, one of them's minus 110. What do we like? What? How many units is that?
90. Isn't it?
I don't know. You're the guy that's keeping track.
It's 90,
figure it out.
Right?
Because I know, like, okay, so if the bet's plus 700, it's 7 units, right? But what happens when it's minus 110?
I think it's 90, right? No. I don't know. Yeah, let's look it
units.
up. Let's educate ourselves.
It could be 0.9 units.
No, it's 0.9. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's 0.9.
Yeah, because if you bet $100.
So that's why I was right by saying 90, but I was
looking at it from a dumb way. In here, because like,
there's going to be decimals. What was it? Big Cats Can't Lose Parlay. For the first, it just got back up to positive, and it says plus 1.5. So like it reads as plus 15 units, but then if you look, there's a very tiny dot, and it's plus 0.15 units.
Right. Yeah. Got it.
So he's up $1.
Or $100 technically.
Yeah,
If you bet $100 every single time, he's up $100.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't $100 be 1 unit? 0.15.
It would be $10 then.
Is $1.
Yeah, which is $10 because it's 0.1. That's 1/10 of 100.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I was wrong, but yes, that is, now that you say that, you're correct. Then but it's not $1. It's 10. But yes. I mean, the reason why I kind of like doing the units too is when you do an straight underdog, like you're not just doing the spread, because like that's the thing is like I just bet a lot of spreads because like there was no like, I guess you could say like incentive just to do the underdog.
Yeah. And like, say 1 week Cal bet, a plus 700 one and Ty bet my minus 140, and they both won, but like those wins aren't the same.
Right, exactly.
No, like me betting Colts money line at minus 1100 right now.
It's just it's a cherry pick bet, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same as taking the Eagles that are depleted that are plus 250.
Right.
I've already written in my bet. I'll go first. I'm taking the Steelers plus 5.5 at minus 112. So I guess that would be 0.88 units. I'll make sure I write that down.
We'll figure it out.
0.88. Nope, I'm figuring it out right now. And then the Packers, I have minus 2.5 at minus 115, which is 0.85 units.
Right.
And then I will write in the
type
in the records too.
What was the Steelers minus 112?
Yes.
Boy, I haven't really taken some dogs there, buddy.
That's how all they are. That's how they all are. When you're doing spreads and stuff.
I'm ready, Ev.
Yep, I'm ready to. Go ahead.
I'm going to take Alabama in the national championship game as underdogs plus 120.
I was going to do that too.
Alabama is underdogs?
Yep.
Yeah, they're 3-point dogs.
What? I'll be betting that for sure. Why is that doing that?
When is that?
Next Monday.
Monday night.
Monday night.
Bama money line, right?
Yep.
Alabama money line. Yeah, Cade has it plus 120.
1.2 units. Yep. And then what's your other one, Cade?
I was gonna do an NBA game, but they look pretty trash. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna do an NFL. I'm just gonna do it off the yak in my head. Oh, that one's
off
tough.
The yak?
The yak, yeah, like off the
yak.
Honest to God, just a real quick heads up. Chiefs minus 10 might be the lock of the century because there's no Bronco fans attending. They have nothing to play for. Drew Lock is playing, and to boot, it got moved to Saturday from Sunday, which means like there's going to be no Broncos fans there because there's already a bunch of stuff out there, like they're protesting it and everything, like they want change and yada yada yada, kind of like the Jaguars are doing. So the Chiefs might just demolish the Broncos by a lot.
Okay, listen, this is a really risky bet, but I'm going to make it, okay?
Yep.
I'm going to take Seattle plus 6.5 against Arizona, minus 112.
No, I love that. I was looking at it too.
Okay. Who's next?
What was yours?
I'll go.
What was that second one?
Mine was the Seattle plus 6.5 against the Cardinals.
What was your line?
Minus
6.5.
112.
Point units.
Oh,
0.88.
0.88 units.
All right, yeah, Evan, mine's you already have both of these written down. I'm not changing. I'm staying very firm with it. Packers minus 2.5. I'm 100% going with that. I don't know how the flying fuck it's that, but I'm riding that son of a bitch hard. Thought about taking the Bengals opened at +3, and I almost threw money on that immediately.
Who are they playing?
The Browns. And now
Is
the
Joe
line-
Burrow not playing?
No, they are playing because there's the first seed on the line.
Yeah.
Oh my God, and the Browns don't have Baker either.
Yeah, no, the Bengals opened as 3-point dogs in Cleveland, but now that line has since shifted six fucking points to where the Bengals are favored by 3 in the span of a day.
I might still take that. Holy shit.
Yeah, Bengals are minus 3 right now. The over-under is 40.5. The Bengals might score that by themselves if Chase and Burrow play.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, yeah, no, Alabama money line plus 125. By the way, on FanDuel it's plus 125. Fuck you, Barstool.
Let's do 5 units.
So what we also got to figure out what we're doing. 'Cause
Well,
I'm on
we're-
FanDuel
this-
still.
So you can do Barstool, you can do and we can do FanDuel.
It's units. It doesn't. Yeah.
It's units, so it doesn't matter.
well, it does matter because
Well,
it's
I guess
going to be different.
guys.
Yeah, that's where
I'm getting
the most.
I'm getting
That's
a
where it
half of
matters
a
the
penny. I'm getting a half of a penny.
But units wise, it's a money line bet. So like you're taking a money line. You're not getting any extra points. You're getting the same pick as Cade, but getting more benefit.
But-
out of
but
it. So
half a
that
penny.
But in units wise, that can swing a lot.
I'm not
Alright,
arguing
so-
that. On FanDuel, it's plus
Aaron-
125.
I got it. So we can still use I like using FanDuel because I like the interface better.
I like the interface way more.
So we just rounded up to the highest units. I'll give Cade 1.25, and we're gonna do that if it's the same for Barstool
Yeah,
too.
no, that's what I wrote him for.
So it's good all around. If we have the same bet, we'll just do the same units for everybody.
Yeah, no, there's no shot I
Doesn't
can't
make
take
sense.
Alabama money line as dogs, man. There's
I
no
have them as well.
shot.
I have them as well as my
Like
Ty, what was your
That's
what
one
was
for
your
you too,
line
Ty.
for Alabama then?
plus 125.
Ah, okay.
It's
That's for
marginal, but the
I didn't
FanDuel
look
line
at
is
college
better.
football.
It's
I
just
just looked at
$5 on it's $5 on 100. That's what it is. It's $5
Yeah.
on if you every bet's 100, which over the course of a year would be very effectful, but not maybe a course of a week, obviously.
No, but it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah, it's fine. And then my other bet, I'm taking the Bengals minus 3.5 plus 100.
Yeah,
So
if
you're-
anyone makes the same
You
bet,
take the highest.
yep, you take the higher one. Yep.
Cool. All right, I got them all in, and everybody's invited to see. So you guys
Both
can see
my-
your bets.
Ev,
Well,
you know
can
what
you
would be
forget?
sick? You know,
Just
what'd
so
be
you
sick?
know, motherfuckers, both
If
my
you
bets are
if you
plus.
work the Excel
Yes.
sheets where
Yeah, no, I mean,
whenever
Cal,
you
you're gonna try
typed
and
in
hop
the
out to an
units,
early
it
lead.
figured it
I
out
fucking-
for you.
Yep.
Do you have it set up that way, Ev?
Your Bengals
What?
minus 3 is
Do you have
plus?
the Excel sheet
Plus
set up
100.
whenever you type in the units and you type in
What's
like
plus 3.5?
like the minus like
On mine.
0.88 units or
Wait,
plus
the
0.88
Bengals or
units,
plus
and it does the
3.5?
math for you to have the total amount of units?
Minus 3.5
Okay, minus. So
You
you
know
have
what I'm talking
Bengals
about?
minus
I'm
3.5
just gonna-
plus
I'm just gonna
100.
add
plus 100. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna do it manually,
That's why.
but you know what I'm talking about? How you can do that on an Excel sheet, though, right? You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I could. You
yeah,
could
you
do.
put in the cells
could-
an equal amount.
Yeah,
I could do that, but I have to.
I'm not Excel
I have to
proficient. I just know you can do it.
Yeah, it's just it would. I don't know how I would configure this. To be honest, it'd probably take me like 20 minutes just to figure it out.
Yeah, no, you don't have to
Yo,
do it.
Evan, add my email to it,
I
and
did.
I will have my buddy that like is an Excel wizard, like has certifications in fucking Excel.
Yeah, because then
and
all you have
he
to do
can-
is just
he
type
can-
in
he can spell it out.
0.88 and it's
He's
done.
licensed.
Well, perfect.
Yes.
Then all I want is whatever I have in my Excel, and I've already sent you the link to your
We got it.
RFMP email,
Yep.
I know we can't see it because we're on YouTube.
and you can edit it.
We just got a new sub within this podcast episode.
That's
Oh, yeah.
great. Thank you for subbing. I
Also,
appreciate it.
yeah. So, Cal, I just realized why it's different because, I have Bengals -3 at -110.
Yep.
That half a point is what gets it to even money, though.
Plus 100.
But you could, exactly. You can switch the spread.
Yeah, I could take the -3 if I wanted for a push potentially and get -110 instead of doing the half point. I mean, that's all we're doing. I mean, look, any of us can buy points too. Like we've never said that. Like we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I never did that because it's
like Big Ben's over 34.5 attempts last night was an absolute fucking lock.
Yeah.
And like if we did the podcast yesterday, that would have been my bet.
Yep. But lit.
Bills are -1200. I might actually sprinkle something on Jets money line for shits and giggles.
Dude, some of these lines right now are crazy. The Bama line. Fuck. I might be in the fucking streets if these lines don't hit next week.
Packers and Bama, you're big on it, huh?
Yes. I haven't put any money on Bama yet, but I will.
The only thing about Bama that this is like a true betting nugget. In the college football playoff era, a team is met in the regular season and then in the championship like it was like 4 times. The team that wins the first game is 0-4 in the second game played in the championship. And Alabama beat Georgia this year.
Alabama did beat Georgia, but they smacked the shit out of Georgia.
I know.
Also,
I'm just saying.
I'm not betting against Saban in a championship.
I'm not betting against him either. That's why I picked him. But what I'm saying is that is a betting nugget.
And who? Okay, I mean, again,
Who in their right mind's betting against Bama ever?
Yeah,
like
no,
they're
but
just
again,
an idiot.
betting nugget. Jaguars beat the Colts 6 times in a row. The 49ers have beat the Rams 5 times in a row.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have never lost a Monday Night Football game at home.
Like, these things matter, but do they?
What?
I don't know. I'm interested. But yeah, those are our bets. Everyone go follow us on Twitter. Make sure to check out YouTube. Obviously, have a great new year. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Eat some sauerkrauts. Good luck.
Yeah.
I hate it, but...
Sauerkraut is one of the grossest things in the world, but I'm ending this thing. Love
Also,
you all.
thank you,
We'll see you
Seven.
next week. Yeah, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, right here.
Hey,
Go Steelers.
He was rocking it hard last night.
He does it all the time.
Hey,
He does it
fuck
all
the
time.
Colts.
hey guys, we wake up in the morning,
The
we
playoffs.
scream, whoa, Cade. Oh, I messed it up. We wake up in the morning, we say, bang, bang, bird gang.